Chapter 38-31. When the gate opened, Long Chen and others saw a golden world, with a space of hundreds of millions of miles. The first thing to see was a towering tree, a golden towering tree. When they saw the golden towering tree, the eyes of Dragon Dust and Emonian would stare out, and they recognized the origin of the tree. Ancient wood of hibiscus. It is an ancient Fusang tree tens of thousands of miles high. The whole body is made of gold. On the huge gold leaves, there is a golden flame flashing, which lights up the whole world. That is the fire of the sun. The sun's fire is not the sun's fire ranking 6th on the sky fire list, but the prototype of the sun's fire. The sun's fire on the sky fire list refers to the sun's spirit formed after hundreds of millions of years of cultivation and countless epiphanies and disasters. The spirit of the sun, after 9 times of natural calamities, can seize the nature of heaven and earth, and finally stand on the way of heaven. The fire of the sun refers to the ultimate form of immortality, and immortality. Although it can't live with heaven and earth, it can live with heaven and earth. Among the top 10 flames in the sky fire list, the strongest state is that it is immortal. However, the sky fire has existed for countless years. It seems that only Yen Su is able to achieve immortality and immortality. Other flames, such as Rainbow Flame and Ice Spirit Flame, are born after innumerable nirvana and never reach the height of immortality. What is most frightening is that tens of thousands of li of old Fusang trees are covered with corpses. These bodies are stuck on the leaves of the old Fusang trees and do not move. As soon as the gate opened, there was a terrible spirit of killing. Many of the powerful demons who walked in front of us were spewed with blood by the terrible pressure of killing. The corpses here, with the threat of terror, even though they are so far away, are still overwhelming. After a long time, the powerful demons gradually adapted to the terrible pressure here and slowly walked into the world. And Emonian, also quietly driving the shuttle from the door to enter, after entering, found that here is a world like a dome. If the world is reduced, it will be like an arc-shaped lampshade, and Fusang ancient wood is the wick. Around the wall, hanging countless bodies, their back close to the wall. They are of different races, different sizes. There are Terrans, orcs, demons, and even a lot of creatures such as Longchen, who have never seen before, cannot recognize their race. But strangely, the huge warcraft is the same size as the Terran here. Giant dragons, Manxiang, Shenhuang, Shenge, etc. were born to be extremely huge creatures, but here they are about the size of human beings. They look so weird. However, every breath of the living creatures here is extremely terrifying. All their accomplishments are in the divine realm. Although they are dead, their breath is hundreds of times stronger than the ordinary ones. As soon as he came in from the gate, Emonian drove a shuttle to avoid the corpse plague and others. He made a detour to the Fusang ancient wood. There were no evil corpses here, and no one could find them. Sure, Cai and others are still carefully observing the surrounding situation, but Emonian and others have come to the back of Fusang ancient wood. When he approached Fusang ancient wood quietly, Long Chen found that the ancient corpse here was more powerful than the ancient corpse on the wall and gave him more pressure. And the ancient corpses here, one by one, are lifelike as if they were asleep, and there was no wound on the whole body. At the beginning of coming in, the evil corpses that Long Chen and others saw were all shriveled, either with arms or legs. When entering those small tombs, although the evil corpse was relatively complete, there were still many wounds on the body, and the body was also decayed. Here, every corpse is perfectly preserved. Even the texture of the skin is so clear and even elastic. You know, this is an ancient strongman hundreds of millions of years ago. The corpses can't withstand the erosion of years, and they are preserved so well. Looking at these corpses, it makes Long Chen's scalp numb. This is absolutely unreasonable. They are gradually approaching a shocking secret. The haze of death is covering them. This old Fusang tree is in its infancy, and the flame on the tree is very weak. It seems that all its strength has been absorbed by these corpses. But a young old Fusang tree can't nourish so many strong bodies. I'm afraid there's something strange about the underground. Small Chen looks at these corpse way. There are millions of Archean evil corpses on the trees. If we want these horrible corpses to survive forever, we must consume unimaginable power. Such a big tree in its infancy? Guoran was shocked. The legend of Fusang Ancient Wood is the largest, which can cover a star field, and the flame can support hundreds of millions of Jinwu for generations. Looking at the folds on its bark, this old Fusang tree has obviously lived for endless years, but it has never grown long. It must be related to these corpses. If I guess it's right, the old Fusang Wood should be a carrier, planted here for these corpses. Yu Shaoqian said. Longshan looked at Emon Yen and said, "This time, do you still believe that the heaven's burial place really does?" From the very beginning, Long Chen felt the smell of conspiracy and felt that this heaven burial place could not be formed naturally. Emon Yen, because of his tomb-robbing background, firmly believes that there can be no human intervention in the sky burial, otherwise it cannot form a celestial burial. But now all kinds of signs show that this place of celestial burial is full of weird things, which is different from the legendary celestial burial. Celestial burial is the benevolence of the heaven. It can't bear to expose the dead in the wilderness. The dead body is buried so that the soul can sleep soundly and no longer suffer from the suffering of reincarnation in troubled times. After the peaceful and prosperous times, the land of celestial burial collapses and the souls reincarnate to share the year of peace. But now all kinds of signs show that Longchen's conjecture is closer to the truth. But if someone can control the way of heaven and bury the spirits, he can't believe it. If someone can control the way of heaven, he can cover the sky and do whatever he wants. Why should he do such a thing? If it is really the body of celestial burial made by some people, then if they break in, the consequences will be very frightening. Thinking of this, Emon Yen feels the cool wind on his back. "Boss, look." Suddenly summer morning points to a direction road. Along the direction pointed by Xiachen, Long Chen and others found that there was a huge light curtain in that direction. The light curtain is like a transparent door. From this door, you can see the opposite side. On the opposite side, there is also a towering tree. The big tree is as black as ink. There are black flames flowing on the leaves. It is the legendary tree of the sun. Well, that's the skyline. Emon Yang looked at the light curtain and couldn't help but jump wildly. The light curtain is the skyline that divides the 3,000 worlds into two, and it also separates the place of burial. Opposite is the Taiyin wood. Here is the Fusang tree, one yin and one yang, echoing each other. Solitary yin does not grow, solitary yang is not long. Shaoqin is right, this underground is the real tomb. Emon Yen looks at the opposite of the Taiyin wood, can't help mumbling, his face is full of shock color. Who is it? All of a sudden, the corpse Calamity shrieked, frightened the dragon dust and other people a jump, was found? www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 38-32 Soon, Dragon Dust and others found that the corpse was not shouting at them, but the direction of the tomb door behind them. Corpse plague, what a coincidence! After the tomb door, there was a cold and proud voice. Then Yin Changsheng, who was wrapped up in flames, came in. Yin Changsheng appeared, not only a person, but also with thousands of disciples of the Holy Pill Hall. Similarly, these disciples are the supreme level Tianjiao, and they are the elite in the supreme level Tianjiao. As soon as they appeared, the temperature of the whole tomb was raised in an instant. All these disciples were practicing fury, and the whole body was burning with fire. As soon as they came in, it was like a torrent of fire rushing in, giving people endless pressure. Damn it, is Supreme Tianjiao so worthless now? Where did this come from? Guoran could not help feeling powerless when he saw so many powerful people. He has the supreme arm, although dare not say that the world, but at least feel that he has been out of his class, outstanding. But it's a big blow to the dog. It's nothing strange. There are many people here. Their breath is long and their souls are different. At first glance, Tianjiao is sealed up. It is no surprise that the arrogance of a force for hundreds, thousands, even tens of thousands of years has been concentrated in one era. Yu Shaoqian said. It is unimaginable for a big family like the demon clan to rule one side of the world. Although there are so many supreme arrogance, it seems that it is frightening, but in terms of the population base of the demon clan, these people are only a small part of them. Meanwhile, the Shengdan Hall has also inherited the existence of countless years. The fire practitioners pay more attention to the opportunity and the luck of the times. It is not surprising that many people are dissatisfied with their own times and block themselves, waiting for a good era to wake up. The reason why Guoran felt strange was that he did not see so many supreme-level Tianjiao in Juyo Temple and Shueisha Hall. He thought that the Shengdan Hall was the same, but he didn't expect that the power of Shengdan Hall was so terrible. You follow me? The corpse plague sees Yin Changsheng's skin smile flesh motionless appearance. The eye sun deep place appears a touch of cold killing intention. Following you? There is only one gate in the land of celestial burial. Tell me, how can I not follow you? Yin Changsheng's face showed a touch of sarcasm. Obviously, he didn't pay attention to the corpse plague, and didn't bother to find an excuse. Obviously, he came in after the corpse plague, and the corpse plague led a large number of powerful demons, and it was easy to be targeted. This old Fusang wood is mine. As for the rest, I'm not interested in it. Yin Changsheng recognized the ancient wood of Fusang at a glance. He was a practitioner of the fire department. This ancient Fusang wood was his must-get, so he opened his mouth and reported his original intention. That's a big tone. What you say is yours, it's yours. The corpse is cold and cold. If you don't agree with me, I can kill you, and then put away the old Fusang wood. Yin Changsheng sneered. Chang Chang Chang. Yin Changsheng's words made the powerful men of the demon clan furious and pulled out their weapons one after another. They were so despised that they were immediately killed. As long as the corpse was given a word, they would fight with the powerful men of the Holy Dan Hall. They were not afraid to die. Meanwhile, the powerful men in the Hall of the Holy Dan also grasped their weapons and were ready to fight. They were also the top experts of the Holy Dan Hall, and they were fearless. Pa 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 pa. Suddenly a burst of applause rang out. A figure came out of the dark. He appeared quietly, scared everyone. He appeared too strange. Ji Wuming, someone exclaimed and recognized this man, who was Ji Wuling, a disciple of Imputa in the blood-killing hall. Ji Wuming appeared. He was just a person without any attendants. He came out of the shadow like a silent ghost. Everyone didn't know how he appeared. Ji Wuming stands in the void with her hands down. Her clothes and robes are constantly floating. Her figure is sometimes empty and sometimes real. It seems that she will disappear into the void at any time. I'm afraid it's not just your family's share of the burial place. I don't know if Ji wants to take advantage of it. Would you like to give me face? Ji Wuming looks at Corpse Eye and Yin Changsheng. Although there is only one person, but it is extremely calm, full of self-confidence, open-mouthed to share a share of the cake. Don't look at him, or you'll have a feeling. The dragon dust to Guoran and Xia Chen Dao. Now Ji has no life, the breath has completely changed, and the whole person has become erratic. Even the powerful spiritual power of dragon dust cannot lock it in. This guy, I'm afraid, has made some terrible breakthrough. Otherwise, he won't have such confidence. He will share a share with the demons and the Holy Dan Hall alone. Ji Wuming didn't wait for them to break out a conflict and make a fortune secretly, which shows that he has enough confidence to take what he wants openly. When Yin Changsheng and Shirtsai saw that Ji had no life, their pupils suddenly shrank. Yin Changsheng said, I can't believe that you should have taken that step first. I underestimated you before. Ji had no life to smile. I'm sorry, but I'm a little bit faster than you. Although I haven't fully integrated yet, compared with you, it's really half a step faster. Otherwise, how dare Ji dare to be so presumptuous? Well, even if you're on the front line faster than us, so what? It can't be done overnight. Without the support of the chaotic atmosphere, you can only step out of that half step forever, which is meaningless at all. Now I only need a few brothers and I to fight. You only have to run for your life. If you are sensible, you should get out of here. She sneered. What if I don't know how to look? So what? Ji Wuming's mouth appeared a touch of light smile. It seems that some casual appearance. You are the place of burial. A tall, strong man beside the corpse can't help but drink coldly. Poof, suddenly, there was a light sound, and the blood spattered. The tall and strong man was pierced in the back of his head, and his body slowly fell to the ground and died. What? All people are shocked. Ji Wuming's body has not moved. How did he kill people? You know, that man is the right arm of Corpse Plague. His fighting power is extremely terrible. He was killed so quietly. When people looked at Ji Wuming again, they found that they didn't know when Ji Wuming had a cold shining dagger in his hand, and the dagger was also stained with black blood. The skull of the ancient evil corpse is really hard, but radish is a radish. No matter how strong it is, it can't withstand a thorn. Ji Wuming's dagger trembles, and the black blood on it disappears in an instant. Ji Wuming looks at the Corpse Plague. How about it? Am I entitled to a share this time? Looking for death, the Corpse Plague was furious. His arms were open, and endless corpse chi flowed. He was just about to take action when a cold voice came from a woman. What is your fate? Can you still escape this time? As soon as the voice fell, the figure of Joyo Luocha came in slowly from the gate of the tomb. Similarly, he was alone. When Joyo Luocha appeared, Ji Wuming, who was calm, saw the mark on the forehead of Joyo Luocha. His eyes narrowed and vomited out 4 words, Shura Mark, www. Novelhold. Com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 38-33. When he said the 4 words of Shura's mark, Ji had no life, and his eyes were full of fear. Ji Wuming, you have already begun to integrate the supreme blood and the supreme bone. You are still hiding from me. Are you going to be a shrinking turtle all your life? When I enter the world of 3000, I have 2 things to do. One is to kill the bastard Longchen, and the other is to defeat you. Last time Longchen escaped, you also escaped. Today, I chase you to the tomb. Where can you escape? Joyo Luocha looked at Ji Wuming coldly, and the blood color symbol flowed in her eyes. Her breath was cold and violent. There was no trace of human breath on her body. She seemed to have just completed some transformation. Can we talk about it later? I know you want to find your master a place by defeating me. However, it seems that this is not the time. I don't know how many secrets and treasures are hidden in the burial place. Instead of wasting time now, it's better to have a fight another day. How about a decisive battle? Ji Wuming looks at Joyo Luocha wrote. Joyo Luocha looked at Ji Wuming suspiciously and said, Are you sure you are not perfunctory to me? Find a chance to escape again? Ha ha ha. Ji Wuming looks up at the sky and laughs. His smile is full of coldness and arrogance, and a little disdain emerges from his mouth. Joyo Luocha, do you really think I'm afraid of you? You are wrong. You and your master are both wrong. You are so naive. What you see is what my master and I want to show you. Master has always told me to be patient and not to conflict with you. This is just a trial for me. Master said that when my blood and bone began to fuse, the endurance period would be over. Although I have not yet become bipolar supreme, this agreement has expired. I can fight with you at any time. To tell you the truth, I have a temper, and I am looking forward to competing with you. Bipolar supreme? Mo Nian and others immediately understand that Yin Chongqing and Shirzai are so afraid of Ji Wuming. It turns out that Ji Wuming has already taken that step and began to integrate the supreme blood and the supreme bone. However, they are hidden in the shuttle, isolated from the outside world, unable to feel Ji Wuming's breath fluctuation. Now they understand what is going on. Bipolar supremacy refers to those who possess both the supreme blood and the supreme bone at the same time. It should be noted that 99% of the most powerful people have either the supreme bone or the supreme blood, and very few people can have both at the same time. Even if you have both the supreme bone and the supreme blood, the probability that they can merge is very low. If one is forced to fuse, it will destroy both the supreme bone and the supreme blood at the same time. Even if the supreme bone and the supreme blood can be integrated, it also needs the assistance of massive chaotic chi to promote the mutual tolerance and mutual promotion of the 2 kinds of energy. Otherwise, the bipolar supreme will not be achieved in the end. Bipolar supremacy is the combination of talent and financial resources. Only some very ancient sects in the fairyland retain some chaotic chi, which is regarded as the top secret of the sect and only known by the patriarchs of all dynasties. This trace of chaos is for those who have become bipolar supreme. A bipolar supreme can directly drive a clan to the extreme of glory. But in this world, there are too few people with bipolar supreme potential. In the supreme heaven pride, it can be said that there is only 1 in a million, and the person who can succeed is only 1 in 100. This probability is extremely low and is extremely low. Ji Wuming is the first bipolar supreme that Longchen and others have met. Although he has just taken the first step, he cannot be regarded as the real bipolar supreme. But the first step of bipolar supremacy is the most difficult one. Now he has taken this step. As long as there is enough chaos in the air, it will come to pass. No wonder Ji Wuming at this time, full of confidence, does not put anyone in the eye, a change in the past low-key, he does have that capital. Hearing Ji Wuming say so, Juyo Luosha seems to believe his words, but Juyo Luocha is not under pressure because of the title of bipolar supreme. Instead, he confidently says, "Okay, I will trust you again. If you avoid fighting again, I will not kill you, but I will make you pay a painful price for cheating me." C9 Yu Luocha agreed. Ji Wuming smile, did not say anything, but to see the corpse and Yin Changxing. Corpse Kai's face was gloomy, and Ji had no life to kill his right-hand assistant, which was equivalent to slapping him in the face of all the people. It was a great shame. Bipolar supreme? I don't believe in this evil. You have to pay for killing my men. On Corpse Kai's old-fashioned face, it is full of ferocity. Boom! As soon as the corpse's body vibrates, the boundless corpse gas explodes, the whole skeleton crackles, the violent force rages, the ground under the feet rattles, and the spider web cracks spread rapidly. The ability of the corpse evil way is really against the heaven. This Archean evil corpse can be controlled so quickly. If Ji Wuming's dagger can't break this Archean evil corpse, he may not be able to get it. Mo Nyang looks at the body constantly trembling, the corpse of the whole body rune circulation, can't help murmuring tunnel. The first body of corpse plague was broken by the dragon dust and replaced with another corpse. Listening to his voice before, he became stronger because of good luck. Now, he abandoned the second body and replaced it with the Archean corpse, which shows that this body is stronger than his second body. And this body is very strong, the body appears bronze, the owner of the body is a body repair. Physical training is to train the body to the point where the sword and the fire are not penetrated. You can use your body to resist the divine weapon. If Ji is dead and can't break the defense, he will be suppressed. Although it may not be defeated, it must be suppressed. Corpse plague is conducive to an invincible position. Now, the victory or defeat depends on whether Jis weapons are sharp enough. The fact that Shi Kai dares to attack Ji Wuming shows that he is extremely confident in his own flesh. As long as they have done a move, they can basically tell. For a moment, everyone held their breath and looked at Ji Wuming and Corpse Plague, and kept retreating for fear of getting involved in the battlefield of the two men. Soon, they left a space for them, and the smell of corpse was still rising wildly. It seemed that there was endless power in his body. I sense it. She's down there. All of a sudden, a voice rings around Longchen and others, who are scared to blow up their hair. At this critical moment, the old man behind Guoran suddenly opened his mouth. With this opening, the eyes of Corpse Tsai, Ji Wuming, Yin Changxing and Juyo Luosha suddenly looked at them like sharp swords. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 38-34 Longchen and other people did not expect that the old man should wake up at this time. His opening up revealed their position. Although others can't see them, as long as they launch an undifferentiated attack, the flying shuttles will be forced out immediately. Moreover, Mo Nian's shuttles are not strong in defense except for escaping. In desperation, Mo Nian can only put away the flying shuttles and stand among the ancient trees of Fusang with Long Chen and others. In front of Wuliang Mountain, Wuliang Palace, Wuliang outside Wuliang Gate, Tianjiao has no way to pursue his dream. Once he meets Emo Nian, he becomes empty. The treasures here are predestined with me. The so-called gentleman doesn't take away the love of others. Please move out and don't delay me to get rich. Thank you. Emo Nian looks at the shocked eyes of Yin Changxing and others, and smiles slightly, and then goes smoothly. Dragon dust. When Shi Kai, Yin Changxing, Jiuyou Luosha and Ji Wuming see the dragon dust, their eyes suddenly burst with killing intention. Among the four, 3 of them had suffered great losses under Longchen, especially Jiuyou Luocha, who was caught and tortured to death by Longchen. Their hatred of Longchen is deep in the bone marrow. Hey, don't do this, will you? I'm talking to you. Mo read a burst of embarrassment. These guys did not seem to see him in general, are staring at the dragon dust. Even Yin Changxing, who had a war with him, didn't pay attention to him, which made Emo Nian angry and wanted to swear. Hiss, the void is torn. A long sword comes out of the scabbard to cut the void, and runs straight to the dragon dust. Jiuyou Luosha is the first one to take the lead. If she has no spare time, she will be the most fierce kill. The sword was cut down, and there was a huge ripple in the air. On that sword, there was an overwhelming force, but it gathered but not scattered. It locked the power firmly on the body of the sword without any leakage. The moves of Jiuyou Luocha are totally different from before. Such a terrifying force can be highly concentrated and its control power is amazing. Choking, the Minghong sword comes out of its sheath, and the sound of the dragon's song blows, shaking the heaven and earth. The 7-color god ring behind the dragon dust lights up, and the Minghong sword turns into a flying rainbow and cuts down quickly. Boom! When the long sword of Jiuyou Luosha collides with Minghong sword, the overwhelming force erupts in an instant. Boom! The fury of the force swept through the hall, and the old Fusang wood at the foot of the dragon dust swayed wildly. The body that had been lying on the leaves, like a rainstorm, went straight to the ground. Longchen and Jiuyou Luosha fight hard, and Jiuyou Luosha flies out. At this time, with the blessing of the 7-color god ring, Longchen only receives half of the power of Jiuyou Luosha, and the other half of its strength is unloaded into the air. When Fusang Ancient Wood shook and countless corpses fell, Longchen stretched out his hand, and thunder spider's silk flew out and entangled those bodies. Collect! The dragon dust stopped drinking, and pulled these corpses into the chaotic space and directly threw them into the black soil. Death! When he saw that Longchen took away so many bodies of ancient strongmen, the corpse was furious, and his whole body was full of corpse gas, and he smashed him with a fist. When dragon dust raised his sword to block, he made a loud noise. His fist collided with Minghong Dao, and he even made the sound of gold and iron. There was a faint spark flying out, and the huge force made the void collapse. Jinma, suddenly, a voice of Jiao Drink came, and a divine light came down. It was astonishing that Yu Shaoqian launched the seal of Zendaman. When the seal of the demon god covered the whole body of Corpse Plague, countless runes on the body of Corpse Plague actually burned up. Ah, damned first demon! Corpse Tsai roars. His body has just been acquired, and it has not completely matched. It is no problem to fight with others. However, the first demon clan is their nemesis. He has no way to control it completely and cannot resist Yu Zioqian's magic spirit. This is not as good as his original body. He even ignores this fatal defect. Poof! The dragon dust Ming and the Hongdao cut off, and the head of the corpse was flying. Under the seal of the town god, Yu Zioqian's body defense was destroyed, and his body began to decay, and he could no longer be invulnerable. Kill that beginning demon woman, Corpse Plague roars, the head falls, but people are okay. The voice is issued from the chest. With his command, countless demon strongmen fly up, straight to the moon Shaoqian to kill. Numerous powerful demons emerge a light film on their bodies. When they touch Yu Zioqian's Shi demon Shenhui, the light film starts to burn slowly, but it blocks the fatal effect of Shi Mo Shenhui. Obviously, they are also prepared. This light film can help them resist for a while. They have to kill Yu Shaoqian before the film is burned. Dragon dust suddenly a knife straight to the moon, Shaoqian head cut, Dragon dust. This move scared Mo Nian a jump. Xiao Qian hide. Dragon dust a break drink? Month small Qian hear dragon dust words. Don't want to. The body quickly dodged to the side. When the void vibrates and sparks splash, and a dagger appears out of thin air. This dagger originally stabbed at Yu Xiaoqian, but it is cut by dragon dust. The dagger appeared, followed by Ji Wuming's figure. He looked at the dragon dust in surprise, as if he were astonished that the dragon dust could block his attack. Bang! The dragon dust kicked off, and hit Ji Wuming's body. But something startled everyone. Long Chen's feet passed through Jis' body. At that moment, Ji Wuming's body slowly disappeared, just like a piece of green smoke, integrating into the heaven and earth. The law of time, Mo Nian's face changed. When Long Chen kicked out the foot, it seemed that the time slowed down and the figure was deformed. This is not only the law of time, but also the law of space. Only when the two laws are combined together can we have such an effect. Mo Nian finally understands why Shi Xiai and Yin Changsheng are so afraid of Jis' life. His hands are supreme, one controls time and the other controls space. Now the two are integrated with supreme blood, and the two forces can be exerted at the same time. Ji Wuming, you get away from me. I don't need you to intervene in the battle between me and Longchen. Jiuyo Luocha snapped. The mark of Shura on her eyebrow began to burn, and the vision behind her opened up. A tall figure appeared, and the endless divine light poured out, igniting her chi and blood. Her strength soared several times in an instant, and she was still climbing madly. At the same time, her breath became colder and colder. It seemed that some strange power was reviving in her body. Dang dang dang. Long Chen blocked the 3 swords of Jiuyo Luosha in succession, and Long Chen retreated 3 steps in a row. The attack of Jiuyo Luosha was more violent than that of one attack, as if it were never-ending. The dragon dust suddenly retrogresses, avoids the Jiuyo Luocha, pours directly at Yu Xiaoqian, and cuts down with Minghong knife. When there was another explosion and the dagger appeared quietly, but it was once again blocked by the dragon dust. If you want to die like that, I'll do it for you. Ji Wuming twice to the Moon Xiaoqian hand, the anger of dragon dust instantly ignited, killing explosion. Poof! But what we didn't expect was that the void suddenly trembled, and the Jiuyo Luosha sword cut down the void, and the blood spattered. Ji Wuming, who had just disappeared into the void, was cut into the cheek by a sword of Jiuyo Luosha. Since you want to die, I'll do it for you. Jiuyo Luosha gnaws his teeth, and suddenly the sword trembles. He even abandons the dragon dust and goes straight to Ji Wuming to kill him. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 38-35, Bang! It seems that Jiuyo Luosha is more angry than Longchen. He even grabs before Longchen and kills Ji Wuming. Longchen is stunned. Are you crazy? Ji Wuming was killed by Jiuyo Luosha on his face. The wound can be seen. He was frightened and angry. You idiot, I have already warned you, let you get away, don't affect me, you don't listen to the mother, then you die, I'll kill you first, then I'll kill him. Jiuyo Luosha anger cannot be revealed. She was defeated in the hands of Long Chen last time, suffered humiliation, she wants to revenge. But she is different from Ji Wuming. She wants to get rid of Long Chen in a dignified way. If Long Chen is affected by external forces, she won't win even if she kills Long Chen. Even if Long Chen died, her inner haze could not be completely removed. This haze will seriously affect her Dao Xin, and even become a shadow that she will never be able to erase. She wants to kill him in the full state without any interference from Long Chen, so as to make her Tao heart flawless and completely erase the shadow brought by Long Chen. As early as before, she had said, dragon dust is her, and more than once said. Before Ji Wuming attacked Yu Xiaoqian, Jiuyo Luosha was angry and warned him that it was his existence that affected the state of Long Chen. As a result, Ji Wuming made a second shot. Jiuyo Luosha was already very angry. In his rage, he directly killed Ji Wuming. The Shura spreads the sky, and there are all kinds of things. Jiuyo Luosha a roar. She behind the vision of vibration, the original huge figure disappeared into a side of the world. In that world, the bones are like mountains and the blood is like the sea. It is a dead Shura world. This world is just like an arena, which is designed for killing. When the vision of Juyo Luosha suddenly changed, her breath suddenly changed. All kinds of symbols flashed in her eyes, and thunder burst between opening and closing. I can't wait. Today, I'll make you kneel down and beg for mercy. Juyo Luosha not only changed her breath, but also her voice. Her voice seemed to come from another world with endless echoes. Juyo Luosha was cut down with one sword, and the whole place of heaven burial was shaking. The power of one sword made thousands of roars. Ji Wuming's invisibility skill failed in front of her. You are an unreasonable madman. Ji has no life and is frightened and angry. This crazy woman doesn't want to kill Longchen, but comes to deal with him. He will be mad. Seeing the most powerful vision of Juyo Luosha, he was forced to tumble and roll, and the space was squeezed. Within the scope covered by the vision, he could not hide, but could only block it. You are a cowardly idiot. Juyo Luosha is not willing to be scolded. Cold drink, a long sword is merciless cut down. You are as stupid as your master. Ji Wuming roars. He is a calm killer. However, in the face of Juyo Luosha, even if he is as wise as him, he is so angry that his liver aches and his lungs explode. I can't tell you clearly with this madwoman. Ji Wuming broke the drink, left hand and right hand runes lit up, the supreme bone started, the right hand dagger in front, the left hand palm even slapped to the back. Boom! A startling explosion broke the space behind Ji Wuming. The violent force gushed out of his hands and directly hit the wall. The wall collapsed in a large area, and countless bodies rolled down from the wall. Ji Wuming doesn't want to fight with Juyo Luosha. She introduces the power of Juyo Luosha from the front hand and discharges it from the back hand. She only bears part of the strength, and most of the strength is pushed behind her. Incompetent guy, when can you be as tough as a real man? Seeing that Ji Wuming didn't dare to take her attack, Juyo Luosha was full of sarcasm and disdain. Another sword was cut. The power of this sword was more fierce than the last one. Only an idiot like Liao Bensong can teach such a fool as you. Since you have to fight with others, what kind of assassin do you want to learn? Ji was so angry that her nose would be crooked. The disciples of Shueisha Hall and Juyo Hall are both killers. Killers strive to kill each other with the least cost. It is the work of a savage and a great taboo of killers. Now Juyo Luosha even ridiculed him for not fighting with her. If it was someone else, Ji Wuming would not take it seriously. However, the future successor of the Hall of Nine you said such a thing. Ji Wuming was almost angry and vomited blood. You're killers. We're assassins. Killers play dirty. We assassins are technical. To put it bluntly, you're a bunch of bad guys. The way to assassinate also needs to have strong self-confidence. It is the creed and code of conduct for killers that what can't be hit once and run away for thousands of miles. To put it bluntly, it's just that you don't have confidence in yourself and give yourself an excuse to escape. No Seed said no Seed, you blood kill Hall is the mouth of the big ant? So many covers on your face? That's why we despise you the most in Juyo Hall. Juyo Luosha sneers and waves the sword in his hand, forcing Ji to retreat. Fuck you. Ji Wuming was so angry that his eyes were red. He wanted to refute it. But facing a madman he had no use at all. In his anger, he even broke the swearing for the first time in his life. Like your master, you are good at speaking, but you have no skill in your hand. Are you still soliciting other flesh and blood businesses? Seeing Ji Wuming, his face was livid with anger. For the first time in his life, Juyo Luosha felt so successful. Whether it was in Puda or Ji Wuming, they were so deep that they were so angry that they were really proud. Ji Wuming was so angry that his face was gloomy, but he still kept a trace of reason. Facing the storm-like attack of Juyo Luosha, he didn't pick it up. He won't be stupid enough to break out with all his strength. When the time comes, he will fight with Juyo Luosha and both sides will lose. Finally, he will let Longchen come to a fishing ground and make a profit. Originally, he just wanted to attack Yu Shaoqian and disrupt the offensive and defensive deployment of Long Chen and others. In fact, he wanted to kill Xia Chen first. Attacking Yu Shaoqian was just to pave the way for the assassination of Xia Chen. Because Xia Chen is a master of array, he is relatively easy to master. Moreover, Xia Chen is proficient in array techniques. If Xia Chen is killed, the possibility of Long Chen and others escaping will be reduced. However, he did not calculate that Jiuyou Luosha would abandon the dragon dust to seek his life. He was almost mad. At this time, Long Chen saw that Ji Wuming was chased and killed by Jiuyou Luosha, and ran away in confusion. For a time, he was puzzled. He even doubted whether they were singing the double spring. There was a conspiracy hidden behind them. He had been watching them nervously. However, after watching for a long time, it seems that there is no conspiracy. Long Chen began to join the battle group and attack those powerful demons who rush forward crazily. No, what about Yin Chongxing? Dragon Dust suddenly heart crazy, he even ignored a person. All of a sudden, the old Fusang tree at the foot of Long Chen trembled, and Long Chen understood at once that Yin Chongxing wanted to steal this old Fusang tree. Put it down for me. It's mine. When the dragon dust broke off drinking, people rushed to the crown of Fusang Ancient Wood like a flash of lightning. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 38-36 Yin Chongxing, a quiet guy, wants to steal the old Fusang wood. It turns out that Yin Chongxing commanded the disciples of the Shengdan Hall and cooperated with the powerful demons to attack Yu Shaoqian when the dragon dust appeared. Jiuyou Luosha, Shikai and Ji Wuming fought. In fact, he is not in a hurry to deal with Long Chen and others. He wants to collect this old Fusang tree, and he intends to cultivate it as the tree of his own life. Fusang Ancient Wood is the rudiment of the sun's fire and the source of survival for the Jinwu people. Cultivating it, Yin Chongxing has an endless fire collecting spot. Although the flame attached to Fusang Ancient Wood is only the initial form of the sun's fire, not the ultimate form of the sun's fire, and its power is limited, even at the initial stage, it is stronger than any other fire in the top 10 of the Sky Fire list. The top 10 flames in the Sky Fire list are the supreme in the fire. Each kind of flame represents a kind of heavenly way and an extreme. Therefore, when Yin Chongxing saw this old Fusang tree, which was still in its seedling stage, his eyes suddenly turned red. This is what he must get. Taking advantage of the war, he sent people to interfere with the sight of Long Chen and others, but he secretly began to cut the earth, to put away the ground under the tree roots. But the scope of the underground root system of Fusang Ancient Wood is too large, far larger than the upper branch range, he cannot dig to the bottom. Soon he was a little impatient. After cutting the surrounding soil for a circle, he began to try to pull the old Fusang wood out of the soil. As a result, with all his strength, the old Fusang wood just vibrated for a moment, but he didn't pull it out. As a result, this move suddenly attracted the attention of Long Chen. This ancient Fusang wood is also a must for Long Chen. If he has the wood of Taiyin, if he can bring it into the chaotic world, he will have both the Taiyin and the Sunfire, and it is absolutely impossible for Yin Chongxing to take it away. Get up, Long Chen stopped drinking, hugged the trunk of Fusang Ancient Wood and lifted it up with all his strength. At this time, Yin Chongxing was pushing the old Fusang tree crazily. Two people pushed and lifted each other. Their strength was used together. Boom! The earth roared, and the sand flew. The golden sand turned the whole world into gold, and the old Fusang wood was finally uprooted. At the moment when the old Fusang wood was pulled up, the underground divine light gushed out, setting off boundless air waves. At the same time, endless energy gushed out from the underground, constantly scouring the world. Long Chen and Yin Chongxing couldn't care to watch the underground. They fought frantically, one pulling the crown and the other pulling the root. Both of them wanted to bring the old Fusang tree into their own world. Boom! The two people pulled at the huge old wood of Hibiscus alba, as if two ants were fighting. But the huge old wood of Hibiscus alba, under the pull of the two people, roared and cracked on the trunk. Roar! With a roar, a flame kirin appeared behind Yin Chongxing. The flame unicorn even entered the fairyland. The whole rune circulated, shaking the universe and the world, and its prestige was 100 times stronger than before. With a roar, it broke the endless runes of the road in the void. It stepped on the void and ran straight to the dragon dust. Hulinger, cut it down for me. Long Chen snorted coldly. With his words falling, Huolinger, holding the real fire sword, rushed to the flame unicorn like a flash of lightning. Without saying a word, he cut down with one sword. There, when they are in the flame, they are all controlled by a flame. Roar, by surprise, the flame unicorn was knocked down by Huolinger's sword, but it was not hurt. Instead, it was inspired to kill the sky. It roared up to the sky, and its hair was ignited, and its killing intention soared to the sky. What's your name? I'll kill you to eat meat today. Huoling Air snorted coldly. The real fire sword shook and went straight to the flame Kirin to kill him. But when he rushed to the flame unicorn, he suddenly put the real fire sword away and stabbed the flame Kirin with a cold ice thorn in his left hand. Boom! The flame Kirin was stabbed by the ice with the power of ice spirit and immediately suffered a great loss. The whole body of the flame was blocked and frozen in an instant. Flame slash, Huolinger's right hand's real fire sword crossed a strange arc and cut the flame Kirin's head. Poof! At the moment of the ice breaking, the real fire sword cut a big hole in the head of the flame unicorn, and the blood flowed out like magma. The flame Kylin cried out in pain. Although the flame Qilin is Yin Changsheng's contract beast, it has been nurtured by the power of the Holy Dan Temple for a long time. At the same time, Yin Changsheng also spent countless resources on it, which made it so powerful. In terms of real strength, Flame Kirin is no weaker than Huolinger. It has many terrible magical powers, but most of them can be inspired by cooperating with Yin Changsheng. However, now Yin Changsheng is competing with Long Chen for Fusang Ancient Wood. The Flame Qilin can only fight alone. Unfortunately, although it is strong, its intelligence is limited, which is 1,000 miles away from Huolinger. Under the Fire Spirit Sun's attack, it does not even have the chance to release the big move, so it is broken by the Fire Spirit Sun, and the blood is flowing. Blood of Kirin, it's a good thing. It's a great tonic. When he saw the blood of the unicorn, Huolinger's big eyes were full of fanaticism. He rushed directly to the body of the flame unicorn, rode its big head, bit on its wound, and sucked its blood essence. Roar! The flame Kirin was frightened, angry and frightened. He roared wildly and wanted to throw Huolinger off himself, but Huolinger stuck on his head like a dog's skin plaster. The essence of flame Kirin is all the essence of fire. You know, as Yin Changsheng's contract beast, Yin Changsheng almost smashed all his savings. I don't know how many of the top 100 Tianhua in the list have been fed, but I don't know how many of them have been smashed, such as Tiankai, Dibao, Shenkai, and other treasures. Because of this, the actual combat strength of the flame Kirin has reached a very frightening point, and the essence of it is more coagulate to a metamorphosis. Huolinger bit on the head of the flame unicorn, and the blood essence goes into the abdomen. Huolinger feels comfortable and graceful. She feels the body is getting stronger rapidly. The feeling is exciting and crazy. Use the golden body armor and pop her away. Seeing the flame Kirin suffer a great loss, he only knows how to roar and scream. Yin Changsheng grabs Fu Sang Gu Mu with all his strength and reminds him aloud. However, at this time, the flame Kirin was completely frightened and shook his head wildly. He had long forgotten how to turn on the golden light protection. His blood essence was absorbed by Huolinger, and his breath was rapidly weakening. Boom! Suddenly, there was a startling explosion. The old Fusang would finally couldn't bear the pull of the two people and broke off. Long Chen got the upper part and Yin Changsheng got the lower part. Yin Changsheng's face was gloomy. This was not what he wanted at all. It was an unknown whether the old Fusang trees, which only had roots, could survive. Even if he could barely support them, he might have to smash some resources to recover them. No doubt, you will die today, Yin Changsheng roared up to the sky. At that moment, his milky white breath broke out like an ocean. In a moment he used all the power of faith. www.novelhold.com the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 38-37. In Changxing was angry. He had never been so angry in his life. In his life, he always wanted wind and rain. No one has ever dared to argue with him for what he wants to get, and no one can live on the people he wants to kill. However, he suffered losses in the hands of Long Chen twice in a row. The Fusang ancient wood that he was determined to get was torn off, and he would go crazy. In his fury, he ignited all the power of faith. At that moment, a pair of milky wings appeared behind him. On the wings, the sacred rune glowed. The violent power made the world tremble. Suddenly, the roaring flame of Kirin glows all over his body. The hair on his body disappears in an instant, and his body is covered with milky white scales. At the same time, an unstoppable force erupts, and Huolinger, who is crazily sucking blood, is flying. Yin Changxing uses the power of symbiosis. The flame Qilin is his contract animal. Their souls are connected and their powers are interlinked. Yin Changxing uses his own power to get rid of Huolinger. Roar! The flame Kirin was recalled to Yin Changxing. It was ferocious and showed its fangs. It roared at Huolinger, and its eyes were full of violent killing intent. Huolinger stands behind the dragon dust, but sticks out her tongue and rolls the blood stains on the corner of her mouth into the mouth. Her face is full of excitement, as if a child who has eaten honey is in the aftertaste. Yin Changxing checked the flame Kirin. His anger soared again. Huolinger was cruel enough. After only one breath, he swallowed 20% of the essence of the flame Kirin. Without half a year's time, the blood essence could not be replenished. If the delay goes on, the blood essence of flame Kirin will probably be absorbed by Huolinger. Death! Yin Changxing roared. His spear was like electricity, and he ran straight to the dragon dust to stab him. The endless power of faith broke out, the void was pierced, and large tracts of Taoist runes were broken. Under the blessing of the power of faith, even the road was oppressed. 7-star battle body, open. Dragon dust in the heart of a drink, behind the emergence of the star map, 7 stars flashing, endless purple air reverberated between heaven and earth, purple ripples in the air surging, just like the tide of the sea, scouring the world. When the sky and the earth open like the sun, the sky, 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 the sky. Endless power, such as thousands of horses rushing into the body of dragon dust, Ming Hong Dao in the hands of Long Chen, roaring, with the endless force into Ming Hong Dao. Ming Hong Dao is like a dry river bed nourished by water, glowing with infinite vitality. Boom! The dragon dust was cut off with one knife, and Ming Hong Dao collided with Yin Changxing's long gun, and the earth under their feet exploded. Both of them did not reserve the attack. The violent force spewed in all directions and covered the sky. Yin Changxing, you idiot, are you forcing me to kill you? Jiuyo Luosha, who is attacking Ji Wuming in the distance, makes an angry voice. Jiuyo Luosha gives up Ji Wuming and goes straight to kill him. Go away, you crazy woman, you are an idiot. If you don't, you will be killed together. Yin Changxing is different from Ji Wuming. He has never been a patient lord. Seeing Jiuyo Luosha's chaos at this time, his intention to kill suddenly surges. Although he didn't know Jiuyo Luosha, it was absolutely stupid for this crazy woman to change sides at this time. He was too lazy to reason with her. Idiot! Among the 4 halls, the Temple of Martial Arts ranked first, the Hall of Sacred Elixir ranked second, and the Hall of Blood Killing ranked the third, while my Jiuyo Hall only ranked the last. I have long been unconvinced by this ranking. The Blood Killing Hall is a group of seedless goods, and has been closed without fighting. Last time I challenged you, you were also pushing away. As I said, Long Chen's life is mine, but you regard my words as farting. In this case, today, we will fight to make the ranking of the 4 halls rearranged. Jiuyo Luosha looks gloomy, the symbols in the eyes flow, the tone is colder and colder, and the tone is more and more domineering. There is a kind of spirit that goes along with us and goes against us. I don't know whether it is too important for her to kill Longchen by hand, or whether it is because of the Shura mark on her forehead that she becomes more and more arrogant, which cannot be doubted by anyone. You fool, the ranking of the 4 halls is based on the inside information of each hall, not according to the level of students' combat power. You are a fool. Don't say that you are just a hybrid with a trace of Shura blood. Even if you are a real Shura family, you are not qualified to be arrogant in front of me. Today's heaven burial place is your burial place. In Changsheng cold drinka, simply ignore Juyo Luocha, straight to the dragon dust to kill. At the same time, the flame Kirin beside him also moves. From another angle, it kills Longchen. The direction of its attack is just the dead corner of Longchen. Longchen snorts coldly. There is no need to communicate with Huolinger. Huolinger has already waved the real fire sword and killed the flame Kirin. At the moment when the dragon dust killed Yin Changsheng, Juyo Luocha also rushed up. The scene was in a mess. The enemies of Longchen are Juyo Luocha and Yin Changsheng. Yin Changsheng's enemies are Longchen and Juyo Luocha, and the targets of Juyo Luocha are Longchen and Yin Changsheng. Boom boom. The 3 men shot at the same time. In the chaos, the vigorous wind was surging, and the sword chi was soaring to the sky, killing the sky and the earth. In the battle of the 3, fire spirit and flame Kirin were mixed. A disorderly battle made them dare not attack anyone with all their strength, for fear of being attacked by a third person. Since he set foot on the road of cultivation, Long Chen has been fighting in his life, but he has never encountered such a situation. In the face of such strong men as Yin Changsheng and Juyo Luocha, even if they are as strong as dragon dust, they dare not be careless and dare not let go of a fight. They can only fight conservatively and find the flaws of the other side. Both Yin Changsheng and Juyo Luocha were the strongest Tianjiao at that time. They had the support of the whole force. Their strength was terrible and their cards were numerous. If they were not careful, they would suffer great losses. Even Long Chen had to be careful. And Yin Changsheng and Juyo Luocha are the same as Long Chen. They are also 1 person against 2 people. They dare not be careless. They fight in the most secure way. It depends on who shows the flaw first. Once one of the 3 people shows a flaw, it is likely that 2 people will seize the opportunity to kill them. However, the 3 men are real Tianjiao, and they are all strong men killed from the battle of death. They have extremely rich combat experience, and their moves are natural and have no flaws. Strong men of their level can show their flaws only when they are fighting for absolute strength. Now, none of the 3 dare to break out with all their strength. All of a sudden, they are in a sticky state. It's the first time they meet such a boring state. Hello, you 2 men and 1 woman. What are you doing? Do you want me to join the party at this time? The voice of Mo Nian came. Ji is dead? Long Chen's face changed slightly. This guy is hiding, but I don't know where to hide. Mo Nian responds that he is standing next to Yu Shaoqian, fighting with the demon clan and the powerful of Shengdan Hall, in order to prevent Ji Wuming from attacking Yu Shaoqian. But this has been a while. Ji Wuming has been quietly motionless, some strange. No, this guy is down. Longchen suddenly found that after the old Fusang wood was uprooted, a passage appeared below and went straight to the ground. Damn it, this guy is so insidious. Dragon dust suddenly behind the thunderbolt, wings tremble, people like a lightning rush to the channel, just entered the channel, the vast chaos of gas fluttered to the face. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 38:38 When the dragon dust rushed underground, Juyo Luocha and Yin Changsheng followed closely. After the Fusang ancient wood was uprooted, a big hole was left in the underground. The big hole is deep and not bottomless, forming a channel. In the channel, there is an inexplicable breath gushing out, which is extremely strange. When the dragon dust rushed into the passage, it was soon found that there was a world under the passage. When the dragon dust rushed to the end of the passage, the first thing that came into view was a golden lake, which was filled with liquid gold. In the center of the golden lake, Long Chen saw an ancient bronze tripod hanging on the lake. The bronze tripod was of ancient shape, depicting the sun, moon, stars, mountains, rivers, birds, and animals. The bronze tripod is not ordinary at first glance, but it is strange that it has no power at all. Even the runes on it are extremely dim, even giving people a feeling of rust. It is suspended quietly on the golden lake, but the transparent skyline cuts the lake apart. The bronze tripod is half on this side and half on the other side. As soon as Long Chen came in, he saw a stealthy figure groping for the bronze ancient tripod. "Stop it. That treasure is mine." Long Chen broke off drinking and rushed to the bronze ancient ding. In his whole life, he met with countless treasures. At a glance, he could see that bronze ancient tripod had an amazing origin. It should be the most precious existence in the whole heaven burial place. "That tripod, we must get it." At this time, the voice of the strong dragon clan sounded in his mind. He was always calm and calm as water. His voice even trembled and became extremely excited. The dragon dust was startled. It is a treasure that can make the strong men of the dragon clan so excited. It is absolutely impossible to exist. Long Chen cuts Ji Wuming with a knife, but Ji Wuming doesn't resist it. She flies away in a flash and gives up the ancient tripod to Long Chen. In the moment when he dodges, Long Chen finds Ji Wuming holding a piece of paper with countless patterns printed on it, which is the rune pattern on the ancient tripod. Rubbing? I didn't expect Ji Wuming to come in for such a long time. He was just rubbing runes and didn't collect the ancient tripod. At that moment, Long Chen understood that the bronze tripod was not so easy to collect. When Long Chen came to the bronze tripod, he looked at the bronze tripod, which was only 3 feet high, and slapped it on it. As a result, the bronze tripod did not move or even make any sound. On the contrary, the palm of Long Chen was shocked and numb, and Long Chen was shocked. At this time, with the blessing of the 7-star battle body, his palm power can be overwhelming, but he can't shake the bronze tripod. He can't even shoot the sound. How heavy is the tripod? At this moment, a long flame spear tore the sky, ran straight after the dragon dust and stabbed at the heart. It was Yin Changsheng's attack. Long Chen suddenly moved in his heart, holding the bronze tripod with his hand. He deliberately slowed down a minute before pushing on the bronze tripod. He avoided Yin Changsheng's spear by a fraction of a cent. The spear was stabbed on the bronze tripod by sticking to Long Chen's ribs. Long Chen did not escape. At this time, he had no intention of killing people. His goal now was to seize the bronze tripod. He wanted to wait for Yin Changsheng to shake the bronze tripod with a shot full of faith to see if he could take the opportunity to put it away. Bang! Yin Changsheng's spear stabbed on the bronze tripod. As a result, it made a crisp sound. In front of the bronze tripod, the flame spear was as fragile as jade. Poof! Yin Changsheng gushed blood. This spear is his lives long gun, which is known as invincible. He has been warming up his soul for many years, but it was so shattered that his soul was severely damaged in an instant. The spear burst to pieces, but the bronze tripod was still motionless, as if there was no force to shake it between heaven and earth. Yin Changsheng sprayed 3 mouthfuls of blood, and the whole person's breath was withered. Obviously, when he hit the bronze tripod with one shot, not only his weapons were broken, but also his body was injured, and it seemed that he was not light. This ancient tripod is stuck in the skyline. If the skyline is not broken, no one can do anything about it. Attacking it means attacking the skyline, and attacking the skyline is equivalent to attacking the whole burial place. Yin Changsheng, you are really lucky. At the most critical moment, you know how to give up the divine weapons and protect yourself with the power of faith. Otherwise, you will be a corpse now. Looking at the startled and angry Yin Changsheng, Ji has no life, light tunnel. Obviously, he was the first one to come in. He had already felt the details of the ancient tripod. Therefore, Long Chen rushed to him. He didn't fight with him because he knew that no one could put away the ancient tripod. What he didn't expect was that Long Chen's attack was sent and received from his heart, and he chopped at him with a knife. After he dodged, Long Chen took the knife back and did not cut it to the bronze tripod. While Long Chen tried to test the bronze tripod, he did not use weapons. Instead, he attacked with the strength of his body, and was not hurt. However, Yin Changxing was a bit unlucky. In the same way, Ji Wuming failed, but Long Chen succeeded. Yin Changxing was almost killed by Long Chen. However, Yin Changxing only said it at this time, which was no different from saying sarcastic remarks. Yin Changxing would not appreciate him, but thought that he was deliberately ridiculing him. Boom! All of a sudden, the whole world was shaking violently. The golden lake began to bubble, just like boiling. At the same time, the soil above them began to crack, and the whole world seemed to collapse. Long Chen, there's someone coming from the opposite side. The people are. Suddenly the voice of Mo Red came from above. Boom, there was a shocking explosion, and the same position opposite the skyline was also broken. According to the distance, there was the location of the wood of the sun. What Long Chen didn't know was that the moment he and Yin Changxing pulled the Fusang ancient wood from the ground, the opposite Taiyin would had a strange change. If you look down on the whole space from the sky, the world will be like a huge Tai Chi diagram, and the wood of Taiyin and the wood of the sun are the eyes of the two yin-yang fish in the Tai Chi diagram. When one eye is blind, the whole Tai Chi diagram begins to become unbalanced, and the eyes of the other yin-yang fish, namely, the tree of Taiyin, begin to wither and crack. At this time, countless figures appeared in the world opposite the skyline. After they rushed in, they directly pulled out the wood of Taiyin. When Mo Nian and others saw a figure opposite, they couldn't believe their eyes and quickly reminded Long Chen in a loud voice. The space opposite the skyline trembled, and a figure fell from the sky. When Long Chen saw that figure, his eyes became blood red in an instant. The man who came down from the opposite side also saw the dragon dust. When he saw the dragon dust, he suddenly laughed. Dragon dust, haha, my dragon Outyin has finally found you. How can I thank you? www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 38-39. With a purple robe, a purple gold crown on his head and a purple gold belt tied around his waist, the arrogance of his face shows that Long Outyin is still the same as that of that year, and his pride is no less than that of that year, which is exactly his name. At this time, he was different from that in Tianwu land. His robes, golden crowns, belts and even shoes were all embroidered with golden dragon patterns. Those dragon patterns were full of endless divine power. It seemed that there was endless dragon spirit in his body, setting off his nobility. When Long Chen saw Long Outyin, he was excited and angry. At the beginning, he left Long Outyin to find clues for his parents. But now, only the mother's clues, but not a trace of father's news. Both of them are uncertain, all of which are the harm of Long Aotian's family. Although Long Aotian's parents are dead, Long Outyin, the beneficiary of his spirit blood, spirit root and spirit bone, is still alive. The killing intention of Long Chen's heart will never subside. Now I see Long Outyin again, and the dragon dust suddenly kills his mind. Everything he has now is caused by Long Outyin. When Long Outyin appeared, Yin Changxing and others were also surprised. Long Outyin had an indescribable temperament. Even though he could not feel his breath across the sky, he had a feeling of being awed by his momentum. Yin Changxing, Jiuyou Luosha, Ji Wuming and others are all awe-inspiring. They are all first-class and first-class masters. They are extremely sensitive to the masters. Across the horizon, they can also feel the great pressure brought by Long Outyin. They have never seen such a terrible existence. Boom! Long Outyin is not alone. He has just come down, followed by hundreds of strong men wearing purple robes and embroidered with dragon patterns. But the dragon patterns embroidered on these strong men are not gold dragon patterns, but silver ones. They stand behind the dragon Aotian. It seems that they are all under the dragon Aotian, but their eyes are sharp as knives. They are really strong. Long Chen and Long Gaishan have 4 eyes opposite each other. Their eyes are like sharp blades. They are fighting in the air. This pair of mortal enemies actually meet here. Dragon Dust, it seems that you are still the same as before. You are not welcome to go anywhere. You still have no future and have been pursued and killed. Long Outyin stands with his hands down. His eyes glance at Yin Changxing, Jiuyou Luosha and Ji Wuming, and a look of irony emerges from the corners of his mouth. Long Outyin is even more arrogant than he was at that time. He doesn't pay attention to anyone at all. This expression of Long Outyin instantly angers Yin Changxing and others. What are you? How dare you talk nonsense? Jiuyou Luocha the first angry shout. However, Long Outyin didn't pay attention to Jiuyou Luocha, as if he didn't see her. Instead, he looked at Longchen and said, Longchen, I really want to thank you. You didn't kill me in Tianwu land, although I knew you didn't kill me on purpose and wanted me to suffer torture and die slowly. But I still want to thank you because you did not kill me. I can fly to the fairyland. To the fairyland, after being examined, I know how precious these three things are from you. Because of this, I got the attention of the dragon family, and even shocked several ancestors of the activation stone level. They not only drive the poison you put on me, but also spent countless resources and painstaking efforts, even sparing no effort to consume precious shou yuan, to train the spirit root, spirit bone and spirit blood for me. I don't know. Have you ever heard that there is a kind of super genius in the world called the Three-Pole Supreme? And that's the kind. Long Outyin looks at the dragon dust across the skyline, with a touch of irony on the corner of his mouth, but also with endless show-off. Three-Pole Supreme? When hearing the name, Yin Changxing, Jiuyou Luosha and Ji Wuming are all in a frenzy. The three extreme supreme refers to the existence of the supreme blood, the supreme bone and the supreme spiritual root at the same time. The supreme bone and the supreme blood are basically born, and the spiritual root of a person dominates one's talent. Therefore, we need to constantly realize it in practice, so that the spiritual root can be baptized and purified. The spiritual root is the most difficult to cultivate, because when a person is born, the spiritual root has been shaped, and only a few people can change it through practice. But even if it can be changed, it is only a slight change, because changing the spiritual root is really against the heaven. To change the spiritual root is not to make the spiritual root become more powerful, nor to make a person's talent better, but to restore the spiritual root to its ethereal state, that is, the immaculate and spotless state when a person is born. This is a kind of practice of returning to the nature, which is very difficult. For example, it is almost impossible for a practitioner to return to a pure childlike innocence after experiencing countless hardships, seeing all kinds of human feelings, changing the world, and experiencing innumerable intrigues. It is impossible to return a piece of white paper to its original white state after being smeared and crumpled. However, there are so many monsters in the world that some people go against the sky and purify the spirit roots to the original state. However, there are too few people of this type, and they may not be able to produce one for tens of thousands of years. Even if there are such people, they are basically outsiders who stand aloof from the world and do not suffer from hatred. However, Long Outyin, arrogant and domineering in front of them at first sight, is a ruthless master. Yin Changxing and others do not believe that he can purify the spiritual roots to the original state. Bipolar supremacy is already the supreme of the supreme. Only one or two of the tens of thousands of high-ranking people can emerge. These lucky ones must get enough chaotic qi to achieve bipolar fusion. If they are born in a bad family and have talent, they will not have a chance. Don't brag. Even if you have the potential of the three poles, you can't achieve the integration of the three poles in the fairyland. The three-pole supreme can only merge in the divine realm. Even if you have the potential of the three-pole supreme, if you don't reach that state, you can only fuse blood and bone unless. Jiuyou Luocha sneered. Unless is it a congenital spirit root? Long Outyin has a sarcastic arc on his mouth, and his eyes are full of disdain. You! Jiuyou Luocha and others are shocked. This expression of Long Outyin, can you say it's impossible? Long Outyin appreciated the shocked expression of Jiuyou Luocha and others, and said with a smile, Longchen, I really didn't expect that your spirit blood, spirit root, and spirit bone have such a big origin. I am now the strongest young generation of the dragon family, the successor of the Taiku Long family. Now I am at the height of the sun. So I want to thank you. Tell me how you want to die. I will let you choose a method of death as your reward. Dragon Aode finished saying, unexpectedly so go to the skyline front. In the eyes of the people's horror, a palm clap on the skyline. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3840 The Skyline is a collection of the laws of the 3,000 worlds. It represents the supreme majesty. It cannot be provoked or blasphemed. Since its birth, no one dares to touch it. Otherwise, it will surely offend the law and be killed by it. But Long Outyen then went to the skyline and patted it down with one hand. When his hand fell on the skyline trembled, and the endless color light flowed. The light curtain on the skyline did not open him. A colorful door appeared gradually above the light curtain. The colorful light screen trembled and flowed like water. In people's astonished eyes, the figure of Long Outyen was so slowly passing through the door, from the other side of the skyline to this side. At that moment, Yin Changxing, Jiuyo Luosha and Ji Wuming were all shocked. Long Outyen could ignore the laws of heaven in the 3,000 worlds. What kind of anti-heaven ability is this? No matter how strong the human power is, how can we win over the way of heaven? And how can we suppress the law of one side of the world? Even if they are as powerful as they are shocked that they have never seen anyone with such a terrible ability. At this time, Emon Yen, Yu Shaoqian, Xiachen, and Guo Ran rushed down the passage. Originally, Yu Shaoqian had killed the corpse plague, but she had no choice but to kill him. All of them rushed down. When they saw Long Outyen and confirmed that they had read it correctly, they were even more shocked. Long Outyen was no longer the Dragon Outyen in Tianwu land at the beginning, and he was scared beyond their imagination. Long Outyen crosses the skyline, and the colorful door behind him slowly disappears. He looks at the shocked people, and a touch of satisfaction appears on the corner of his mouth. It seems that he enjoys this feeling. Dragon dust, see? This is the ability of your colorful supreme blood. You are born with the power of 10,000 obedience. The law of a small world like 3,000 worlds can't help me at all. It's a pity that the colorful supreme blood originally belonged to you, but now it's playing the amazing power in my hands. The most sad thing is that you, the original owner of colorful supreme blood, are going to die under your own blood. Hey, isn't it ironic? Maybe this is life. Long Outyen looks at the dragon dust, with a smile on his mouth, just like the emperor who is on top of the world. He is full of ambition and high-spirited. When Long Outyen crosses the skyline, people can feel his real breath. He seems to contain a kind of supreme power, which makes people want to worship. That kind of breath noble, overbearing, can make the 4 seas submit, make 9 days suddenly head, irresistible. It seems that Wan Dao can only crawl under his feet. What shocked Yin Changxing, Jiuyo Luosha, Ji Wuming and others was that the colorful and supreme blood of this terrible Dragon Outyen was taken from dragon dust. The 3 of them had heard Long Outyen say that he had taken 3 things from Long Chen. Now they know that one of them is the colorful supreme blood. So the other 2 are. I ask you, where is my father? Long Chen gnaws his teeth and rolls in his eyes. He released Long Outyen at the beginning in order to find the whereabouts of his parents. Now the whereabouts of his mother, although he did not know, but according to the character of Luo Zichuan, mother must not be in danger. But his father's whereabouts have been unknown. When Long Chen chased the dragon family, the family had already moved away, leaving no clue. Now when he sees Long Outyen again, he must know his father's news. Your father? Don't worry, your father is still alive. Besides, he lives well. After all, it's him here. He can't live well. Hey, his son killed my father and my mother. Do you think I can make him live badly? Ha ha ha. Long Outyen said later, although he was laughing, he had already grinned. Now, the hatred between him and Long Chen is no longer a simple hatred of robbing blood and bones. Long Outyen causes his family to be separated. Long Chen kills Long Aoshan's parents and claims interest for himself. Dragon dust hate Dragon Aode, deep into the bone marrow. Dragon Aode also hate dragon dust. That hate is deeply printed into the soul. Although he didn't die, even because of misfortune, he got the attention of the ancestors of the Taiga dragon family. However, during this period of time when he was fed with the black earth pill by the dragon dust, he suffered a lot every moment. I don't know how many times he wanted to end his own life. Entering the fairyland, he finally could not hold on and wanted to kill himself because he could not bear that kind of torture. Later, he was still a strong man in the dragon family. He was forced to seal his ability so that he could not seek death. However, his ability was sealed, but pain could not be sealed. He suffered a lot all the time. Just because of this terrible poison, he aroused his self-protection consciousness of spiritual blood, spirit root, and spirit bone. No matter how painful he was, he would not die of pain, and he always retained his vitality. During that time, he was not as good as dead. Originally, the dragon family had planned to give up because there was no way to save him. But later they found that the spirit blood, spirit root, and spirit bone of Dragon Outyin were extremely strong, and they could not kill him even if the poison was so fierce. Therefore, they reported to the strong in the clan that a strong one came across the sky. When they recognized that Long Outyin had the potential to be the supreme of the three poles, they immediately sent him to the ancestral land of the dragon family at any cost, even alerting the old ancestor. The old ancestor personally drove away the poison in his body and spent endless resources and painstaking efforts to clean up the spirit blood, spirit root, and spirit bone for Long Outyin. From then on, Long Outyin soared into the sky and looked down upon the pride of the group. He became one of the strongest pride of the ancient dragon family. Moreover, his potential was valued and highly respected by all the ancestors of the dragon family. Today's Dragon Aotion, it can be said that in Taiga Dragon's house, the wind is the wind and the rain is the rain. There is no difference in the wind for a moment, but he always has a knot in his heart, that is, the man he hates deeply. Now two people finally meet, two people's eyes are blood red, two people are like bloodthirsty beasts, staring at each other. When Long Outyin says that Long Zhantian is in his hands, the head of dragon dust is buzzing all of a sudden, and endless anger gushes out. If Long Zhantian is in his hands, I don't know how much torture he will suffer. At that moment, Long Chen's anger completely erupts. I can make life worse than death once, and then I can do it again. With a roar like thunder, the dragon dust is filled with endless killing intention, shaking in the void and howling. The god ring behind the dragon dust rotates, and the 7 stars vibrate. All the strength is no longer reserved, and one punch hits the dragon Aotion. Dream of it, the present dragon Aotion is no longer the old one. From now on, 9 days and 10 places are all my own. All the strong men in the world are just stepping stones for me to climb to the top of the mountain, and your dragon dust is my first step. God's blood stained the wasteland. When Long Outyin stopped drinking, the vision behind him was opened. It was a colorful and desolate world. As soon as the world appeared, the Supreme Spirit swept all over the world, making the gods and demons change color. Today, I will show you what is the real Supreme and what is the real power. Long Outyin, facing the attack of Long Chen, does not dodge and does not dodge. The two predestined enemies fight again in the fairyland. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3841 Boom. At the moment of their hands, their breaths soared wildly, and before they had a real fight, the space began to roar, and the golden lake below began to boil and set off a huge wave. Boom, there was a bang, and each of them gave a blow, shaking the whole world, and even the skyline was shaking with a burst of shaking. Under the billow of the air wave, the two men retreated at the same time. This is a blow without any fake or skill. It's all flesh and blood. Two people's chi and blood soared to the sky, the violent breath radiated 9 days and 10 places, and the tyrannical pressure made the strong people on the scene suffocate. Long Chen and Long Outyin fought fiercely. Yin Changxing, Jiuyou Luosha, Ji Wuming and others all stopped. They didn't expect that they would suddenly kill a world-shaking strong man, and this world-shaking strong man had such a big origin with Long Chen. Without the colorful supreme blood, you can only find other blood essence to replace it. Unfortunately, even if it's real dragon blood essence, how about it? You have to be suppressed. After Long Aotian's one punch, it is another. At this time, the color world in the vision behind him suddenly became active, like a monotonous picture scroll. The color was constantly flowing, and the whole world became lively. At the moment of his fist was covered with divine light. With one fist falling, heaven and earth shaking, and a large crack appeared in the void. This fist was more than 10 times stronger than the previous one. When I dared to let you go, I was sure to suppress you again. In front of me, you only had to be suppressed. With a cold drink of dragon dust, the star space in the body trembles, and the sea of purple gas boils in an instant. The calm purple gas is furious and releases endless purple flame. This is the first time that dragon dust releases the purple gas without reservation. After this period of adaptation, his body can fully bear the impact of all the purple gas. Among the 18,000 stars behind the dragon dust, purple gas gushed and stirred back and forth. The 18,000 stars lit up in an instant, just like the 18,000 suns. The endless power surged, like the Yangtze River surging in the body of dragon dust. Boom! There was another shocking explosion, and the two hit each other with the second punch. Under this blow, the void was disillusioned, and the violent power swept across all sides. Click, click. There are spider web cracks in the sky wall above the people's heads. There are huge cracks on either side of the skyline or there. It seems that it will collapse at any time. One punch, two people back again. When they retrogress the moment, two people's breath, like the accumulation of energy for hundreds of millions of years of flame mountain erupted at the same time. Dragon dust, let you see my vision, you will know what is called gap. The first form of my vision is God's blood-stained heaven and earth. Now I'll show you my second form, Chiao Town heaven and earth. Long Aotian holds his arms to the sky, roars up to the sky, and his long hair is flying. The vision behind him roars, and the air waves gush out from the vision. In the color world behind him, there are two more colors, black and white. And when the two colors appeared, there was a day and a month in that world. The sun was bright and the moon was dark. One was soft and the other was masculine. Black and white were added to the world. The breath of dragon arrogance soared wildly, and the endless air waves erupted all over the body, making a crazy impact on the world. Emo Nien and others are shocked. At this time, the dragon Aotian is simply terrible, just like the god of heaven, invincible in the world, breath takes people's soul. 7-star battle body, present. At this time, the whole body of dragon dust is twined with purple gas, just like hundreds of millions of flying dragons galloping. His breath has reached the critical point, and all the purple gas rushes into the stars of Fengfu crazily. Boom boom. Fengfu star, Yuheng star, Siming star, Gong Qixing, Shengguan star, Mingmen star, Zeke star, one by one, light up one by one. When a star lights up, the breath of dragon dust rises a lot. In the last battle with Corpse Plague, although Long Chen also summoned the 7-star battle body, it was not the whole 7-star battle body. Although all the 7 stars were lit up, the last step was not completed. On the one hand, Long Chen at that time did not need the last step to defeat Corpse Plague. On the other hand, it was because Long Chen was not sure that he could bear the impact of the last step. But now different, Long Chen must complete the last step, because at this time Long Aotian has become his most terrible enemy. Boom! The breath of dragon dust erupts rapidly. When the 7th star Zeke star lights up, his whole Boda's purple gas is ignited, and the purple flame erupts, which ignites the law of heaven, and is full of momentum. Hum. However, what shocked Guoran and Xiachen was that the void trembled and the air waves crisscrossed. The vision of Long Aotian almost covered the whole space. The vision of dragon dust was suppressed and could not break through the shackles of Long Aotian. It looks like a big tree covering the sky, blocking all the sunshine. The vision of dragon dust is much weaker in front of the vision of Long Aotian. Boss. Guoran's face changed. If the vision is suppressed, Long Chen can't be the opponent of Long Outyin. Long Outyin is too strong. Dragon Dust, it seems that I really overestimate you. Under the suppression of my vision, you now have no qualification to compete with me. The vision behind the dragon Ao Tian trembles. The endless divine light circulates, coldly looks at the dragon dust. In both eyes is full of sarcasm. Long Outyin is not in a hurry to start. He seems to have endless self-confidence. He looks down upon Longchen with pride. His hatred for Longchen has reached the extreme. In his opinion, it is too cheap to kill Longchen. He wants to make Longchen suffer torture and humiliation to die. He wants to return his suffering to Longchen 1,000 times. He knew that as long as a strong man like Longchen was defeated, he would be in agony and collapse, and he wanted to defeat him in the strongest place of Longchen. It seems that I have overestimated you. You are a pig. You just remember to eat but not to fight. You have been tortured by my pills for so long, but you still don't have a long memory. Your pride is to pretend, but to cover up your past failure and heart inferiority. All your dependence now is obtained by external forces and by shady means. Throw away those external forces, you Long Outyin ask yourself, what do you have left? When one day you lose these things, you are nothing. The vision behind the dragon dust trembled, and the 7 stars kept shaking. Although the vision was suppressed because of the small space, the dragon dust did not panic at all and sneered at each other. And Long Chen's words immediately hurt Long Aoshan's heart. As Long Chen said, everything of Long Outyin today is not achieved by his own efforts. He is proud, tough and arrogant. In fact, he conceals his inner inferiority and fear. Even if he is so strong now, he often has nightmares, dreaming that all his things have been taken away and become immortal. The feeling that life is not like death returns again. He knew that dragon dust had become his biggest heart demon. If he wanted to continue his practice, he had to kill him, otherwise he would be devoured by the heart demon sooner or later. Now he was torn down by the dragon dust and immediately became angry. A bunch of nonsense, I will kill you now. The dragon is arrogant and murderous. Like a goshawk on his head and feet, he flies towards the dragon dust. The colorful runes flow over his hands and his claws are like hooks. He breaks the void. He must tear up the dragon dust. At this time, a divine light from Zeke's star shot out, shining on the Fengfu star. At this time, the 7 stars finally connected, forming a complete state, the real 7-star battle body. Boom! A startling explosion, with the dragon dust as the center, the star is brilliant, and the purple air soars to the sky. The dragon dust punches out with a fist and hits the dragon Outyin directly. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3842. The 7 stars behind the dragon dust become a star ring. The power goes round and round, and there is no leakage of power. Last time, dragon dust summoned the 7-star battle body, but did not dare to connect them into a star ring, because the breath of dragon dust could not leak out, and it was likely to burst him. But after such a long time of adaptation, his meridians had the last impact experience, and now he can master all the strength of the 7-star battle body. When the power of the 7 stars circulates, the strength in the dragon dust's body gushes out, and the divine power radiates into the sky and penetrates the sky. Boom! This is a shocking collision. The void burst, and there are black cracks between heaven and earth, and the whole world seems to be shattered. The violent air waves formed a ripple of death, radiating in all directions. The golden lake under the people's feet was directly shocked into a golden mist. Yin Changsheng and Ji Wuming, etc., saw the situation in a bad situation and started their full defense. However, they were still shocked by the aftershocks of the 2 men. However, Xiachen was prepared early, holding Fu Zhuan in his hand, and carrying Yu Shaoqian, Emon Yen and Guoran. They sent them out ahead of time. When the vigorous wind blew in front of them, it had weakened a lot. But even so, Xiachen still felt that the vigorous wind was as sharp as a blade, which made his face ache, and there was a feeling that his body was going to be torn. Quick look, suddenly, Guoran pointed to the bottom of the golden lake and exclaimed. The fist of Long Chen and Long Outyin shook the lake open, revealing the true face under the lake. At the bottom of the lake, there were 36 coffins. When the coffins were exposed, a savage spirit came to his face. The breath made Guoran and other people's hair stand upside down. An invisible sense of fear enveloped everyone. At that moment, they seemed to be staring at something. Trouble were tainted with terror. Emo Nyang looked at those coffins, and his face was a little suspicious. As a tomb robber, he is familiar with all kinds of tombs. If he steals more tombs, he will inevitably be contaminated with all kinds of ominous things. The so-called night road will eventually go to hell. Emo Nyen set up a barrier before entering the land of heaven's burial. This is the secret method of Wuliang Palace, which specifically shields all kinds of invisible forces such as causal curse. However, when these coffins appeared, Emo Nyen was shocked to find that the barrier he arranged was destroyed in a moment, which did not play a protective role at all. The appearance of these coffins makes everyone feel awe-inspiring. As a strong man, he is affected by cause and effect. The feeling is like being watched by a terrible monster, and he can't get rid of it all his life. At that moment, Yin Changxing, Zhuyo Luosha, Ji Wuming and others all changed their faces. Once the cause and effect was contaminated, they could never get rid of it. Those coffins, depicting the ancient totem, there are strange trees, flowers, also have never seen strange animals. Suddenly, hundreds of demons and the powerful men of the Holy Dan Hall screamed bitterly. They covered their eyes, and the blood flowed slowly from their fingers. When the blood flowed out, it was still with rotten meat just like mud, which was very frightening. Do not look at those coffins, not to look at the eyes of the totem beast. Life is not hard enough. This cause and effect will erupt on the spot. Yin Changxing yelled, stopping the powerful of the Shengdan Hall from seeing those coffins. Although he didn't know the origin of those coffins, he found that he had been contaminated by the terrible force of cause and effect. Even he felt his scalp numb and his soul trembled. Here, the existence of a must have been buried. Under the mysterious ancient tripod is a golden lake. Under the golden lake, these coffins are buried. Even if you think about them with your heels, you know that these coffins are the real core of the land of burial. Boom! All of a sudden, two howls, shaking the world, violent air waves rolling out, overlapping, endless, constantly scouring the world. Only then did people move their sight from the coffin to the air. There, Dragon Dust and Long Ao Tian are facing each other with their fists, roaring and shaking, and are trying their best to suppress each other. Hum. At the place where Dragon Dust and Dragon Ao Tian's fist meet, the road cracks and continuously spread in all directions. The runes of the road are constantly broken, and the space-time fragments are flying. Under the violent power of the two people, the whole world is crying, and it seems that they will burst into pieces. The partition above the people's heads did not know when it was turned into powder. The whole place of the celestial burial was shaking and the bodies on the walls around them rolled down one after another. The scene was in chaos. Around the strong people, scared, shivering, they have never seen such a terrible picture. Two people seem to destroy the whole world together. Long Chen and Long Outyin look at each other with fierce intent. They don't pay attention to the surrounding situation. They have only one idea now, that is, to defeat each other in the most direct and violent way. Hum. The strength of the two people surged, crazy rush to each other, the violent air flow shook the skyline was affected by the strength of the two people, also began to roar. However, it is strange that the skyline roars and vibrates, but the bronze ancient tripod in the middle of the skyline is still unaffected by the skyline. In the whole place of celestial burial, only the sound of the roaring air oppresses thousands of channels. Other people dare not act rashly. They even covet the coffins and can only look at the coffins secretly to see what is going on and how to start later. Although these coffins were extremely terrifying, since the cause and effect had been contaminated, there was nothing to be afraid of. He wanted to know what kind of terror was buried in these coffins. But he can't do it now. If he does, Ji Wuming, Yin Changxing, Juyo Luosha, Shirsai and others will do it. There are too many of them. If they do it rashly, they will suffer a lot. He can only wait for a suitable opportunity to see the fierce battle between Long Chen and Long Outyin. Boom! With a bang, Long Chen and Long Outyin regressed at the same time. The two separated, and the space crack disappeared, and the harsh sonic boom subsided. At that moment, the whole world was quiet. But it's dragon dust. You didn't disappoint me. I still have a lot of tricks to show. If you lose so early, it's too boring. Standing on the void, the dragon Ao Tian flickers in the vision behind him, carrying out some mysterious rhythm. Looking at the dragon dust, the fighting spirit rises in his eyes, like a beast staring at his prey. For the strong dragon dust, Long Outyin is not much surprised, but with endless excitement, even in the face of the full fire of dragon dust, he is still full of confidence. No matter how many tricks you have, you will never escape the end of being suppressed by me. Since the moment you steal my spirit blood, spirit root and spirit bone, your destiny has been doomed. Long Chen's sense of war is also rising. He seems to be born for war. Only in the battle can he understand himself and see himself clearly. Haha, you're still as conceited as ever. I'll see how long you can keep it. Long Outyin roars up to the sky, his hands open, and the world in the vision behind him suddenly changes color. The endless golden light flies out of the world behind him and goes straight to the dragon dust. He is the master of the power of gold. When he saw the golden light, Xiachen exclaimed that the golden light was a sharp sword of gold. The most terrible thing is that when those golden swords fly out of the vision, there are endless golden gravel shining in the earth of the burial place. They run straight to the golden sword, and the golden sword appears, instantly draining the power of gold in this world. At that moment, Yin Changxing, Juyo Luosha and others were all shocked. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3843 The Golden Sword is all over the sky, draining the power of gold in this world. The golden sword roars and cuts the sky. The divine light stings people's eyes and dare not look at them. When the spirit of gold in the dragon's lofty vision and the power of gold in the sky and earth merge, hundreds of millions of gold swords converge into a golden torrent and rush towards the dragon dust. Boom! The dragon dust stopped drinking, and the endless starlight trembled above his fist, and one fist hit the golden sword torrent. A bang, golden light all over the sky, countless gold swords were broken, but the dragon dust was pushed hard on the wall behind him by the golden torrent. After the golden sword light poured down, it bounced back on the wall and converged into a golden torrent, just like a golden dragon, killing the dragon dust again. The golden sword was incomparable. Although Long Chen smashed countless golden swords with one blow, there were too many gold swords. Many gold swords passed close to his body. Many wounds were cut on Long Chen's body and his robe was dyed red with blood. At this time, the dragon dust and the dragon scale covered the whole body, but still could not block the sharp golden sword. You know, the body of dragon dust today is so strong that it is still injured. It can be seen that the golden sword is as sharp as any other realm artifact. Long Chen was injured, but all of them were skin injuries. These sharp swords could not pose a fatal threat to him. Seeing the torrent of the golden sword flying again, Long Chen roared and rushed to the golden sword torrent. On top of his fists, the light of the stars broke out, and he smashed the golden torrent with bare hands. Boom boom. Long Chen took the initiative to attack, not to give the golden torrent an opportunity to speed up. With the double wielding, the golden lights were flying, and the gold swords were broken into gold symbols, and the whole world was stained with gold. However, those golden symbols did not disappear. Instead, they condensed again in the air to form a long golden sword. Once again they killed the dragon dust. It was just endless. But the endless golden sword still can't stop the dragon dust. The dragon dust both waved and rushed to the dragon Aotian. Long Aotian's mouth was covered with a Yin smile, and his eyes were full of fighting spirit. Dragon dust, you must hold on. I hope you can see your colorful supreme blood before you die. What terrible power you have. All of a sudden, the seal in Long Aocean's hand changed. His vision changed color again, from gold to fire red, and then endless flame symbols flew out of the vision. The power of fire, people were shocked, and Long Outyen even controlled the power of fire in addition to the power of gold. When the power of fire comes out, the power of fire in this world, like the power of gold, is drained by the power of those flames. A torrent of flame ignites the world and rushes towards the dragon dust. The sharp gold torrent and the flame torrent rush to the dragon dust at the same time. The dragon dust hums coldly, swings his fists and roars the vigorous wind, which shatters the two torrents one after another. Come again, Long Outyen stopped drinking. The earth broke open, and a column of soil rose from the sky, straight to the dragon dust. Boom! The dragon dust smashed down with one blow, and the soil column collapsed. But the dragon dust was shocked by the terrible force and bounced to the void. The power of thick soil? People face the color of horror. Dragon Outyen even has the power of thick soil, is it? Boom! The land collapsed, and vines rushed out of the ground, like strange boa constrictors, rushing to the dragon dust. The dragon dust was being bounced off at that time. The vines interweaved into a big net to cover the dragon dust. In a moment, the dragon dust was trapped in it, and the vines tightened rapidly. Open it to me. Once you stop drinking, it's like thunder and an explosion. The vines trapped in the dragon dust burst into pieces and scattered everywhere. These scattered debris, even so rooted in the void, rapidly elongated, in an instant thousands of miles, turned into vines winding against the dragon dust. The power of wood, some people exclaimed. Hishy, hishy. All of a sudden, the void trembled, and the light rain fell from the sky. The light rain, like an arrow, pierced through the void and shot fiercely at the dragon dust. How can this be possible? How can a person be in charge of the 5 elements at the same time? Someone yelled, it's not common sense. The 5 forces of gold, wood, water, fire and earth travel through the void. They attack the dragon dust, but they do not repel them. Each force is lethal. Boom boom. Long Chen's fists are waving, the stars are moving around, and the purple chi is soaring into the sky. Facing the attack of 5 forces, fight back. Did you see it? This is the power contained in your colorful supreme blood. All this belongs to you. Unfortunately, you don't have that life. What bipolar supreme, what triple supreme, I have the power to destroy the heaven and the earth before I even practice the supreme blood to the extreme. When my supreme bone and supreme root are fully awakened, the 3 are in 1, 9 days and 10 places. Who else is my opponent? Unfortunately, you can't see my 3 poles in 1, invincible demeanor. However, it doesn't matter. I will show you all the power of the supreme blood. Let you know I take away from you these 3 things, is how rebellious, by their own supreme blood killed, is not it ironic? Long Outyen looks up and laughs. My own things will naturally be taken back by myself and put in your place. It is just for you to keep them for me. I also want to thank you for spending so much time and energy to help me cultivate them. The dragon dust both waved and fought fiercely. Although his whole body was stained with blood, he did not show any panic. His face was calm as water, and his fighting spirit rose in his eyes. Your mouth is hard enough. I think how long you can be hard. The power of colorful supreme blood is more than that. Today, I will let you know. As soon as the seal method of Long Aocean's hand changed, all of a sudden, the 5 torrents suddenly trembled, forming a huge symbol. At the beginning, the symbols were extremely fuzzy and fused with each other, forming a light ball with a radius of tens of thousands of miles, trapping the dragon dust in it. And the 5 symbols, constantly circulating, eventually turned into 5 totems. If you look carefully, that totem should be the legendary green dragon, white tiger, rosefinch, xuanwu and kirin. As soon as the 5 totems appeared, the light screen trembled suddenly, followed by 5 roars. The sounds seemed to have come from ancient times, with endless intention of killing, so that all the people in the scene roared and their souls were shaken. Some of the weaker demons and the strong men of the holy Dan Hall were shocked to death. There was blood spilling from their ears and noses. What they suffered was not only the sting of their soul, but also the crushing of their will. Even if everyone here is a supreme power, but in the face of such crushing will, some people can't bear it. In the light curtain, the roaring force and will of dragon dust are more than that of others. However, Longchen looks calm and looks at the 5 totems above the light curtain coldly. Rest in peace, 5 spirits. As like as 2 peas, he had a ball of light, and the light bulb was just the size of the dragon, but it was just like the dragon dust. The light curtain that trapped the dragon dust shrank in an instant, and the violent force squeezed the world. The space where the dragon dust was located was twisted in an instant. Long Outyen wanted to crush the dragon dust to death. And dragon dust cold you are still as usual stupid. Dragon dust finished, a finger point out, a flame directly on the rosefinch totem. P.S. The next chapter will be delivered around 10 o'clock. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3844. The moment the light curtain tightened, the heaven and the earth trembled. The violent power was palpable. The power contained in this blow could destroy the heaven and the earth. Guaran and other people's heart, all instantly tight. They know this move is absolutely Dragon Ao Tion's unique skill. But what they didn't expect was that at the moment when the light curtain tightened, the dragon dust pointed at the rosefinch totem. In the rosefinch totem, endless flames burst out. Originally, the 5 forces in the light curtain were balanced, but when the power of dragon dust was injected, the light curtain was out of balance for a moment. Boom! There was an explosion, and endless runes were flying. The terrible light curtain was broken by the finger of dragon dust. The strong people at the scene were shocked. With such a terrible move, Longchen even waved to break it? The power of the 5 elements is mutual generation and mutual restraint. Long Outyen can control the force of the 5 elements at the same time. That's because he uses the way of the 5 elements. The dragon dust itself has the power of fire. His power is injected into the rosefinch totem to attack the green dragon totem. The green dragon belongs to wood, and is captured by fire, and immediately defends. In this way, the power of the 5 elements' mutual generation is cut off, and the instant imbalance, and the killing move is naturally broken. See Mo Nyen and others face puzzled color, month Small Chen explained. Mo Nyen and others realized that the feeling of dragon dust was a trick. Without Yu Zioqian's explanation, they could not imagine how Long Chen could break the killing move of Long Outyen with one finger. Long Aoshan's killing move was broken, but he did not have any unexpected color. As if everything was expected, Long Outyen waved his hand. The 5 totems fly to Long Outyen and are branded on his forehead, hands and feet. Dragon Outyen has a unicorn on his head, a red bird on his left hand, a white tiger on his right hand, a green dragon on his left foot, and a Xuanwu on his right foot. He has even branded the 5-element totem on his body directly. Boom! When the 5 elements totem is integrated into his body, the heaven and earth vibrate, and the myriad ways are harmonious. At that moment, he seems to be the master of this world, controlling all laws and invincible. His spirit became more and more fierce, and his spirit became more fierce. Dragon dust, you have the power of fire, I don't know? Think you can be proud if you break away from my 5 spirit bundles? You are too naive. Dragon dust, I won't let you die easily. I will let you see how terrible your colorful supreme blood is. I want you to die with endless reluctance and helplessness. Only in this way can I bear so much pain, and I will give you back the pain you gave me. Long Outyen stands on the void, with long hair flying, sharp eyes, and a gloomy smile on the corner of his mouth. In the land of Tianwu, you are said to be the first in your body and your strength is invincible. Today, I will defeat you in your strongest place. I will let you die under your own talent. All I have now is yours, but you can only watch everything taken away, unable to struggle, and can only die in pain. Long Outyin suddenly punched out, and a golden fist shadow covered the sky like a mountain. Long Aoshan's fist does not need to accumulate strength and seal. The power of gold between heaven and earth is controlled by him at will. There is no sign of this attack in advance. The golden fist of Mountain General roars and arrives. Dragon Dust Heart Alin, the power of this fist, pressure him to be unable to breathe. However, this fist did not hit the dragon dust, but flew by the side of the dragon dust and hit the earth severely. A startling explosion, Long Aoshan's fist hit the 36 coffins. The terrifying force shattered the earth and turned the earth into nothingness. But such a terrible blow unexpectedly did not break those coffins, lost the support of the earth. The 36 coffins actually floated above the void. Long Aoshan's fist, overwhelming, but unable to destroy those coffins. People are shocked by the power of Long Aoshan's fist and the firmness of those coffins. Those coffins float above the void, and there are transparent chains connecting the ancient tripod in the skyline. Long Chen, you know that I deliberately missed this punch, because I'm afraid it'll kill you by accident. It's too boring. Long Outyin doesn't care about the coffins and the bronze tripod. In his eyes, there is only dragon dust and the enemy he hates. You can do your best. I also want to see how strong my colorful supreme blood is. Anyway, I'm going to take it back. How much psychological preparation do you have? Longchen Cold Tunnel. In Long Chen's eyes, the fighting spirit rises, and the strength of Long Outyin is beyond imagination. However, the stronger the dragon Outyin is, the stronger his spirit of war is. Dragon Dust, don't waste too much power with him. Your goal is the bronze ancient tripod. I tell you, that bronze tripod is the most precious treasure. You should save your strength to wake it up, and don't lose the big because of the small. At this time, the voice of the strong dragon clan sounded in the mind of Long Chen. Obviously, the ancient bronze tripod has a great origin, and it is eager for Long Chen to get it. This man is my mortal enemy, and I know my father's whereabouts better. Today I must defeat him and press for my father's whereabouts. As for the rest, I don't care. Long Chen shook his head. If it was normal, Long Chen would definitely choose to get the ancient tripod first, and then go to fight with people. But the Dragon Ao Day is different. Two people are the mortal enemy in the destiny. Once encounters, is a does not die endlessly the death battle. Haha, this arrogant heir is just like that. Unfortunately, my Dragon Ao Tian is no longer the Dragon Ao Tian of that year. Wake up. Long Outyin sneers, suddenly step on the void, a fist to the dragon dust. This fist, the fury breath will lock the dragon dust, force the dragon dust to fight hard. The golden light twinkles, and the rune on the fist of Dragon Outyin flows. The strength is stronger than that of the blow just now. The roaring wind makes the whole place of celestial burial shake ceaselessly. Above the fist of dragon dust, 7 stars suddenly light up, wrapped the fist with holy glory. The pattern is the epitome of dragon dust's 7-star battle body. This move is learned by Long Chen from the 9-star descendant in the Tianjia. If you hit the 7-star power on a certain part of the body, you can concentrate the power of the 7 stars to explode at one point. At the beginning, the 9-star descendant used this move, and Long Chen was nearly beaten. For the first time, Long Chen saw such a terrible move. This move also made the dragon dust's thatched cottage open. In the past, the power of the stars of dragon dust all flowed in the whole body. Although the power of the stars flowed around, it would bring all-round protection to Longchen, so that the power was evenly distributed in all parts of the body, but it was still unable to make a highly concentrated attack. However, when the 7-star pattern appeared on Longchen's fist, the power of the stars flowing in his body poured into his fist in an instant, just like a volcano sealed for hundreds of millions of years, and finally found a vent point and gushed out. Boom! A punch hits Long Aoshan's fist, and the golden light is directly hit by a fist. Long Outyin grunts and shakes his body. Just at the moment when Long Outyin was shaken back, Long Chen held his left hand high and slapped his big mouth on Long Aoshan's face. In people's shocked eyes, Long Outyin was whipped away by the dragon dust and hit the bronze ancient tripod in the void. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3845. Long Outyin was slapped by the dragon dust and ran straight to the bronze ancient tripod. Just as Long Outyin was about to hit the ancient tripod, the hair of Long Aoshan's whole body stood up in an instant. The threat of death filled his mind. Long Outyin is greatly shocked. Since he was activated by the ancestor of the dragon family, he has never met such a terrible death threat in the face of any strong one. His intuition tells him that if he collides with this bronze ancient tripod, he will surely die. In his eyes, only dragon dust did not pay attention to the bronze ancient tripod. Now he understands that this ancient ding is a wonderful existence. Suddenly, endless vines interweave in the void, forming a large net, waiting in front of the bronze tripod. Long Outyin bumps into the vine, and the vine's net quivers, and the dragon Outyin bounces back. The power of fire, the rosefinch dance. Being slapped by the dragon dust, the dragon Aotion is very angry. On his fist, the rosefinch totem circulates, and the flame rises. One fist stirs the heaven and earth. The voice of the archaic rosefinch is faintly heard. The sound penetrates the clouds and rocks and goes straight into the soul of human beings. What about the power of the 5 elements? I just need to break it. No matter how strong the colorful supreme blood is, it's not yours. Even if you fight hard, how much can you control? Even if you take away my spirit blood, spirit root and spirit bone, you are still my defeated general. On Long Chen's fist, the 7 stars flow, and the divine light envelopes his fist. At that moment, Long Chen feels the happiness that has never been before. After understanding this move, he will never be as powerful as before, and his whole strength can finally focus on a little burst. In the face of Long Aoshan's fist, Long Chen does not shrink back. Whether it is the power of gold or the power of fire, Long Chen always strikes with one fist. Boom! The runes of fire are flying and surging in all directions, like fireworks. The flames are billowing and the terrible high temperature makes the whole world into a furnace. The power of Long Chen's fist is earth-shaking. He learned this move from the 9-star descendant. Only when Long Chen knew that the 9-star domineering formula must use matching combat skills, can he exert his power. In the past, he was like a beggar guarding the Golden Mountain. He had a body of strength, but he didn't know how to use it. Now, when the power gushes out from his fist, the power to destroy the world makes his blood boil and his fighting spirit soar to the sky. Long Aoshan's fist of fire is blasted by the fist of dragon dust. The impact of 2 fists is like the confrontation of 2 stars, and the breath of destruction radiates out, which is frightening. The world was shaking and the vigorous wind was howling. The coffins floating above the void began to shake under the influence of the 2 men's strength. However, people were watching the battle, but they didn't notice that there was an inexplicable breath slowly overflowing from the cracks in the coffin. The power of water, Xuanwu attack. The power of wood, green dragon thorn. The force of the earth, the unicorn explodes. Boom boom. The runes on his fist move back and forth. The 5 elements of gold, wood, water, fire and earth switch back and forth. Each force is a kind of ultimate law, which can collapse the sky. However, no matter what kind of energy it turns, Long Chen always hits with one fist. The strength of the 7-star battle body, which is attached to the fist, is all smashed by one punch. At this time, the dragon dust understood that now he had mastered a trace of the 9-star master's formula, but before, even the fur was not counted. That kind of full-force burst, hearty catharsis, let Long Chen experience unprecedented pleasure, and with the passage of time, he just learned the moves, more and more skillful moves, the sense of astringency gradually, moves began to become like flowing clouds and flowing freely. Boom boom. Their fists and feet roared in the sky. The forces of the 5 elements of gold, wood, water, fire and earth were surging back and forth between the heaven and the earth. Each impact made the world tremble. At the same time, people felt their hearts shrink suddenly, as if they were pinched by a big hand of 5 elements, and they felt like they wanted to vomit blood. Long Chen and Long Outyin fought fiercely. The space of tens of thousands of miles has formed a forbidden area of death. The space here is full of cracks, not to mention people. Even if it is a magic weapon, entering this range, I'm afraid it will be shattered. People hide in the distance, back against the stone wall, can no longer retreat, but the roaring vigorous wind, still blowing people's cheek pain like a knife cut. You know, they are all the supreme level of heaven pride, in their forces, are the most top existence, can be proud of the same level arrogant. But here, they were shocked to find that the battle between Long Chen and Long Outyin with their strength did not even have the qualification to approach. If they forced to rush forward, they would be crushed by the terrible vigorous wind. Is the gap really so big? A supreme power of Shengdan Temple, looking at the fierce battle between the two, aroused the surging weather waves, which changed the color of heaven and earth, and could not help mumbling. They can't help but look at Yin Changsheng. Yin Changsheng and others are also looking at Long Chen and Long Outyin in shock. Obviously, they are also shocked. The boss is the boss, and we have never been disappointed. Ha, the previous worries are too superfluous. Guo Ran was scared before. He was really scared by Long Outyin. Long Outyin controls the power of the 5 elements, each of which is the ultimate power, which is so strong that people despair. Guo Ran is worried about Long Chen for the first time. However, looking at it now, Long Chen is obviously fighting against Long Outyin. Guo Ran is elated, and wishes that Long Chen could kill Long Outyin alive with one fist. Did you find that Dragon Ao Tian's 5-element power didn't work well at first? Now the conversion speed is much faster than before, and the pressure on space is increasing. Summer morning still some worry tunnel. After this reminder in the summer morning, Guo Ran found that every time Long Aotian's boxing went out, the void burst, and a large spider web-like crack was full of void. The scope was indeed much larger than at the beginning. Do you mean this guy is practicing with the boss to adapt to his own strength? Guo Ran was shocked. Summer morning nods, the face is still a dignified, Dragon Ao day is too terrible, or to say, is the dragon dust's colorful blood is too terrible. At the thought that the colorful supreme blood belonged to Long Chen, Xia Chen and Guo Ran were filled with anger. If Long Chen had not been robbed of the spirit blood, spirit root, and spirit bone, what kind of position would he be in the fairyland now? You don't have to worry about it. Although Long Outyin is strong, you haven't noticed that the power of dragon dust has also begun to run smoothly, not as rigid as it was at the beginning. Obviously, Long Chen has created a new move, is exploring a new way, and is also practicing with Long Outyin. In fact, neither of them has given their full strength. Emon Yen, do you think so? Yu Shaoqian said. Cough, I think so. Emon Yen coughed for a while. In fact, he didn't put his mind on Long Chen and Long Ao Tian. He knew the strength of dragon dust too well. Emon Yen, what are you thinking about? CMO read a pair of absent-minded appearance. Guo Ran can't help but ask away. Shu, Emon Nianian's eyes turned around and ordered the coffins below, and said to the 3 people, I tell you, there are treasures in those coffins. Taking advantage of the dragon dust to attract their attention, we must find a way to do it first. In summer morning I just thought of a way, let's try it. With words, Emon Yen stealthily took out a small dark box from his arms, which was a palm-sized coffin. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3846. As soon as the small black coffin appeared, strange patterns appeared on the coffin, which were the same as those of the 36 coffins. Is as like as 2 peas, and the color and material of the coffin are changing. They are similar to those of the coffin, and even the air is imitated. You are. Summer morning is surprised, don't know what Emon Yen wants to do. In addition to the shuttle, this is another treasure of mine, Qianhuan's spirit coffin. It can imitate the appearance and breath of any coffin. In the past, in the graveyard, I met terror creatures. As long as they hid in the coffin, they couldn't find me. For a while, we all hide in this coffin. In summer morning, you secretly perform a mirror illusion, leaving our shadow and breath here, and leaving a dynamic picture to confuse people here. I believe it is not difficult for you, right? Hee hee, then we sneak into those coffins and believe my intuition. This is definitely a big deal, which can make us rich overnight, Mo Nyen whispered. But boss, he's still fighting. Summer morning, some hesitant tunnel, the boss is in a bloody battle, but they run to secretly open the coffin, some uneasy. I'm afraid of you. Who is your boss? You have more cards than I do. Moreover, they are still familiar with the tricks now. It's still early to decide whether to win or not. Long Chen has no time to explore treasure now, but Yin Changxing, Jiuyou Luosha, Jai Wuming and Shizhao are on guard against each other and dare not do it easily. This is the best chance for us. Come on, don't hesitate. After this village, there will be no shop. Mo Nyen urged. Summer morning, some embarrassment, look to month small Qian, hope month small Qian to make an idea. He and Guoran dare not rashly agree. Looking at the dragon dust in the battle, Yu Shaoqian nodded. At this time, the dragon dust and Long Outyin are all trying to adapt to their own strength. It seems that they are fighting fiercely, but it really takes some time to distinguish the victory from the defeat. Since Mo Nyen is so sure, let's have a try. Long Chen's eyes are red now. He has no time to win the treasure, so we can only help him. After listening to Yu Zioqian's words, Xia Chen began to arrange secretly. At this time, Long Chen and Long Outyin waved their fists. The light poured down like rain and thundered like thunder. Everyone's eyes were focused on them, and no one noticed their small movements. In fact, at the beginning, Ji Wuming and others, or secretly pay attention to Mo Nyen and others, for fear that they will take the treasure first. But as the fierce battle between Dragon Dust and Dragon Outyin escalates, their strength is more and more terrifying, and their moves are more and more sharp. They are unconsciously attracted. Long Chen is their strong enemy, but they don't know much about it. Watching Long Chen's fighting style will benefit them in the future. In addition, there is an open space, 36 coffins floating in the void. Anyone close to the coffin, so many eyes, will be found. However, Yin Changxing, Jiuyou Luosha, Shizhao and others did not pay attention to Mo Nyen and others, but focused on Ji Wuming. Because Ji Wuming's ability to control time and space is only his ability to steal treasure in front of everyone's eyes. However, there are Yin Changxing, Jiuyou Luosha, and Shizhao staring at Ji Wuming. Ji Wuming is honest and does not dare to do anything. She can only watch the war with the people. Soon, summer morning, this side of the space quietly changed. Xiachen and other shadows still remain in place. People have quietly entered a coffin. The shadow of Xiachen and others is just a piece of image, but this image circulates. If outsiders don't get close to them, they can't see any flaws at all. Mo Nyen's coffin is similar to his shuttle. People can hide in it and have stealth ability. However, Qianhuan's spirit coffin does not have the ability to fly, can only slowly drift to those coffins. In the coffin of summer morning and Guoran, become nervous, afraid of being found. However, it is obvious that their worries are superfluous. Mo Nyen has been robbing tombs all these years, and the treasure that many people have never seen in their lives. Although most of the treasures were looted by his master's immoral Taoists, he would not move Mo Nyen's card to protect his life. After all, Mo Nyen is his only disciple and the only inheritor of Wuliang Palace. No matter how bad a Taoist is, he can't harm his disciples. When the 1,000 magic spirit coffins slowly close to a coffin, all people's eyes are still looking at the dragon dust and Long Ao Tian. No one looks at them at all. Mo Nyen leaned the 1,000 magic coffin on the top of a coffin, and then slowly enlarged the coffin, and finally covered the coffin. From the outside, we can't see anything unusual about the coffin. However, Mo Nyen and others have quietly stood on the coffin, which is 3 zhang 3 in length and 1 zhang 5 in height. When standing on the coffin, Guoran felt that his pores were about to burst open, and his inexplicable fear surged into his heart. Standing here, he seemed to be standing on the corpse of the devil, which made people feel afraid. And Mo Nyen, but his eyes shine, constantly stroking the patterns on the coffin, as if touching the skin of a beauty, so gentle, so focused. Yu Shaoqian was also looking at these patterns carefully and suddenly said, "These patterns are like the patterns of flowers and leaves on the other side, which permeate with the breath of the underworld. I'm afraid that in the coffin, what is buried is the life of the underworld." Mo Nian sincerely said, "Powerful, really powerful, this is all you can see, this is indeed the grain on the other side of the flower leaves." The other shore flower, also known as the flower of hell, blooms without leaves, leaves without flowers, just like the reincarnation of life and death, endless. Flowers represent new life, and leaves represent death. On this pattern, there is a strong breath of the underworld. There should be burying the strong men of the underworld. I'm here to open the museum. When the coffin is opened, there may be a breath of death coming out. You can help me clean it up in summer morning, and don't make too much noise. With these words, Mo Nian took out a brush, but the brush was stained with blood like ink. He kept drawing strange lines on the coffin. After depicting the whole time of an incense stick, Mo Nian put the pen away, took out some powder and sprinkled it on the coffin. After printing in his hand, he read words in his mouth and looked like a magic stick. I don't know what Mo Nian's mouth is saying. It seems that he is reciting some scriptures. After a while, the patterns he portrayed on the coffin light up slowly, as if they were alive. Then the whole coffin trembled and clattered. The lid of the coffin moved forward slowly, and it really opened. The coffin opened a gap, and the powerful breath gushed out from the gap. When the breath appeared, Mo Nian and others were stunned, and then Mo Nian exclaimed, "Do it when the coffin is opened, what comes out is not the air of death, but pure air of chaos." www.Ninefold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3847 Xiaqin is stupid. The array he arranged was used to block the qi of death, but it turned out to be the qi of chaos. Fortunately, Xiaqin's reaction was quick enough. He held the seal formula in his hand and offered hundreds of Fuzhuan scripts to replace the original ones, forming a cover to firmly lock in the chaotic air gushing out. How could it be chaos? Summer morning shock tunnel. Fortunately, if you let so many chaotic gas gush out, you will be noticed by the outside. I don't know. Mo Nian also wiped a cold sweat. He decided that the underworld strong should be buried here, but did not expect that there would be chaotic gas gushing out. But his 1,000 illusory spirit coffin has no protective effect. It can only be used for camouflage. It can't block the qi of chaos. If it is exposed, it will be useless. Fortunately, awesome summer morning, strain quickly, chaos gas was blocked up. For people in the chaos of the gas, the whole body shutai. Guoran, you can't absorb the qi of chaos now, or once you activate the crown of heaven, you will be exposed. Si Guoran can't help but absorb the qi of chaos. The head appeared a Wang coronal scene, scared Mo Nian a jump. Guoran quickly stopped absorbing the qi of chaos, and the crown of the heavenly way disappeared slowly. At this time, Guoran was only one step away from condensing the heaven's crown, which could be condensed at any time. Here chaotic gas surging, Mo Nian and others are not excited, just pried open the coffin, received a big gift. Mo Nian, Yu Shaoqian and Xiaqin are all trying to absorb them. Only Guoran looks at them eagerly. Looking at the outside, all people did not find the abnormal here. Mo Nian slowly pushed the coffin, forming a gap that can be passed through, and people looked inside with their heads. When they saw the scene inside, the four people took a breath at the same time. The coffin became a world of its own. In the tens of thousands of miles of space, a huge figure sat cross-legged. The huge figure almost filled the space. It was the first time for several people to see such a huge figure. Guoran, grieve you for a while, help us watch out, let's go in and have a look. Mo Nian said to Guoran. Don't worry. Leave it to me. Guoran is very straightforward. He knew that he was of the least use here, so he might as well stay here and help people watch. Only then did the three men carefully sneak into the coffin. When they came to the huge figure, they found that it was a three-eyed creature, covered with black scales, and its third eye was placed with a sword. Obviously, it was a fatal blow. killing the three-eyed monster. However, although it was dead, the pressure on his body made Emo Nien's soul tingle. When he approached it, he felt that his body was oppressed by some force, so it was difficult to get close to him. What kind of creature is this? It's so terrible to die? Summer morning, a face of horror tunnel. If this horrible creature is alive, I'm afraid it doesn't need to start. It just needs to sneeze. No one in the burial place can live, right? This should be the legendary three-eyed giant in the three links of the underworld. In ancient times, it was a 9-day awe-inspiring race. Yu Shaoqian carefully looked at the three-eyed giant with a touch of shock in her eyes. She couldn't believe that such a terrible existence was buried here. Sister Shaoqian, what is the family of three communications? Xiaqian can't help but ask. Yu Shaoqian is too erudite, almost nothing she doesn't know. Santong refers to the race with 3 arms, 3 eyes and 3 heads. Here, 3 arms refers to having 3 arms. The 3-armed group has a strong physical body, known as the 3 arms to support the sky, can cross the mountains and the sea, chasing the stars and the moon. The 3 Eyes clan has powerful magic power, which is called 3 Eyes Connecting the Sky. Its 3 eyes contain 3 different laws and have terrible pupil skills. And the 3-headed clan is said to be immortal, coexisting with the universe and living with heaven and earth. Whether it is 3 arms, 3 eyes or 3 heads, they are also divided into many ethnic branches. The 3-eyed giant clan is one of the 3-eyed one. They have not only terrible pupils, but also powerful physical bodies. They are very terrible looking at the body of the giant Qiandao. Don't look in his eyes. Suddenly Yuexiaqian exclaimed. Poof, but Yu Shaoqian still yelled a step late. Xia Chen's blood gushed out. Yu Shaoqian waved her hand in a hurry, and a white light curtain appeared in front of Xia Chen. Wow! Emo Nien was also hit, bent over to one side to retch, almost did not vomit. What is the situation? Emo Nien was pale with fear. Although the eyes of the 3-eyed giant are closed, they have their own blood talisman on their eyelids. If you stare at their eyes and explore with the power of their soul, they will arouse their power to fight back. Yu Shaoqian said, You can't even look at your eyelids? If I open my eyes, am I not dead? Xia Chen's face turned white with fear, which was a terror that he could not understand. Damn it, I got hit. There are some evil sections. According to the law, even if the body is immortal and the blood has been coagulated, the dead creatures should not have the consciousness of counterattack. This is absolutely abnormal. Emo Nien ruthlessly tunnel, he just in the vision, saw the extremely disgusting thing, almost directly vomited. This 3-eyed giant, I'm afraid, is the existence of terror that we have never seen before. Let's be careful. Yu Shaoqian is also a little frightened. This 3-eyed giant's realm, I'm afraid, has exceeded the scope of their understanding. No matter how much you two take care of me, I'm going to start archaeology. Emo Nien finished, took out a pair of gloves, at the same time took out a belt. The belt is full of grooves. The groove is inlaid with axe, chisel, pliers, brush, tweezers, and other tools. Emo Nien is equipped with a strange lock armor. When the lock armor is put on, Emo Nien cannot be affected by the influence of the 3-eyed giant. He climbs onto the 3-eyed giant's shoulder directly. Then, in the shocked eyes of Yu Shaoqian and Xia Chen, he removes an earring of the 3-eyed giant. Then there is the wrist guard, the heart guard, and a huge mace under its buttocks. It has to be said that Emo Nien really has the ability. He has all kinds of tools on his body. Even if he cocks up the body as big as the 3-eyed giant, it doesn't take much effort. Everything is familiar. When these treasures were collected by him, the guy began to study the sharp sword in the eyebrows of the 3-eyed giant. However, after studying for a long time, he still did not dare to move the sword. It's a pity that I dare not collect the corpse. If Long Chen sees this body, he will definitely drool. Forget it, let Long Chen collect it by himself later. Finally, Emo Nien looked at the body of the 3-eyed giant, but could not help but tunnel. Long Chen loves to collect all kinds of corpses. Everyone knows that. Unfortunately, no one dares to collect such corpses, so he can only give up. The three opened up their visions and quickly absorbed the chaotic chi here. Soon, the chaotic chi here was absorbed, and the three climbed out of the coffin. Boom! As soon as the three people climbed out of the coffin, they heard a loud noise, and a figure shot at them. The figure was Dragon Outyin. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3848. The three people were scared. Long Outyin even flew over. Was he found out? But soon they found out that Long Outyin was flying backwards. Boom! Long Outyin slammed into a coffin and sent out a loud explosion. The coffin vibrated, and the chain of the coffin connected with the ancient bronze tripod collapsed straightly. The huge force made the bronze tripod tremble slightly. When you look at the dragon dust, you can see that the dragon dust at this time is twined with purple air, and the star sea flows behind it. It looks like a star war god, overlooking the heaven and the earth, looking down at the 10 directions. Old Marshal. Seeing this scene, Xia Chen and Guo Ran can't help boiling blood. Long Outyin is so terrible that he is still beaten by the dragon dust. After a series of fierce battles, the dragon dust has thoroughly integrated the power of the 7 stars. From the heart to the mind, the meaning to the god, there is no more astringency. It can be said that at this time, the dragon dust really touched the threshold of the 9-star domineering formula. On the back of his hands, Long Chen printed a pattern of 7 stars. On his clothes, there were purple stars, bright and dark, just like a human heart beating, emitting some strange rhythm. With that rhythm, with dragon dust as the core, the tides composed of the laws of heaven constantly scoured the heaven and earth, and the skyline began to shake constantly because of the power of dragon dust. The purple atmosphere twinkles with endless stars. The whole place of burial, because of the dragon dust, seems to have become a world under the starry sky. The vast starry sky contains endless power, which is awe-inspiring. At this time, even the breath of dragon dust is completely different from before. It becomes more domineering, colder, and more murderous. It makes people tremble. However, what shocked them was that Long Outyin hit the coffin fiercely. The coffin was shaken and the chains collapsed straight. However, Long Outyin stood on the void like a man who had nothing to do. His vision. Yu Shaoqian was surprised. She noticed that the world behind Long Outyin is no longer colorful, but a world of black and white. In the black world, the crescent moon is high, the white world is shining brightly, a black and a white, a clear distinction. Long Aotian's body is full of colorful lights. After farewell, the black and white world reflects each other. It seems to be very strange, but these 7 colors together are magnificent and solemn, which makes people dare not look at them closely. The strong men in the distance were stunned. These 2 people were monsters. From the beginning of the war to now, the breath of the 2 people has been constantly improving. They have never stopped. Their strength is getting stronger and stronger. Yin Changxing, Zhuyo Luosha, Shi Zhao, and even Ji Wuming, who has always been calm, wise and calm, firmly hold the weapons. Strong people are eager to meet a real opponent, a terrible opponent, even more beneficial than 10 famous teachers. The real strong are all based on the battle as a teacher. They temper their will, enhance their ability and realize Dharma through the cracks between life and death. Now, the terror of Longchen and Longation makes their hearts tremble. They are all strong on one side and invincible at the same level. In their lives, they have never met a strong one who can kill them. Long Chen and Long Aotian's fighting power is terrible to the extreme, but they don't have the heart of fear. On the contrary, their blood surges up. For the strong, every battle of life and death is a power. If you win, you will come out of the cocoon and be reborn. If you lose, your body and spirit will be destroyed. If you want to become stronger, you need to constantly challenge the limit of your life. Even if you know that you may lose your life, you will still be persistent. Now they don't care about the coffins, or even go to see the bronze tripod. They are hesitating whether to participate in the World War II and fight the real strong. It's interesting. It seems that you have an adventure in the fairyland, but you can't defeat me only by your skill as a star. Long Outyin patted the dust on his body. His face was calm, and his face was indifferent. There was a sense of irony in his indifference. The skill of stars? Dragon dust looked strange. At this time, the voice of the strong man of the dragon clan came. When he was sent away, I erased all the memory about the 9 stars in his soul. When he sees your 7-star battle body, he can't remember the 6-star battle body in Tianwu land. He thinks that you learned this skill in the fairyland. Long Chen suddenly realized that the strong man of the dragon clan had done a lot of things for him secretly, but he didn't know it. No matter how strong you are, in front of me, you will still lose, and you will be convinced. No, you will lose very much, because everything should be yours. Ha ha ha. Long Aotion looks up at the sky and laughs. It seems that the stronger the dragon dust is, the more happy he is, without any fear. Your smile is still as annoying as ever, but I don't know how long it will last. Dragon dust step out, instantly across thousands of miles of space, appear in front of Long Outyin, a blow down. It's no use. All your attacks are in vain. You can never hurt me. Long Outyin looks up at the sky and laughs. To everyone's surprise, Long Outyin uses his chest directly to resist the attack of dragon dust. Boom! With a bang, Long Aotion's chest collapsed when he was hit by the fist of Long Chen. The man flew out like a meteor and hit the stone wall in the distance. A big hole was knocked out of the stone wall, and endless stones and sand filled the sky. Soon, Long Outyin walked out of the endless sand and stone. He patted the dust on his body, and his face was wearing a sarcastic smile. It's useless. Your attack can't hurt me at all. At this time, everyone was stunned. What's the situation? The terrible power of Longchen can't hurt Long Outyin? Even Yin Changxing, Jiuyo Luosha and others can't believe their eyes. This strange phenomenon is beyond their understanding. Long Chen, don't waste time with him. According to reason, there are some things I shouldn't say. Now you are not his opponent. The strong man of the dragon clan said in a deep voice. I don't believe it. Long Chen's heart leaped suddenly. The strong man of the dragon clan unexpectedly said that he was not as proud as the dragon. Long Chen is very respectful and grateful to the strong of the dragon clan. At the same time, he is also very convinced of it. However, the strong man of the dragon clan said that he was not the opponent of Long Outyin, and Long Chen immediately aroused his dissatisfaction in his heart. Do you know how strong your colorful supreme blood is? Before you get my Dragon King's blood essence, you can't defeat him. The strong man of the dragon clan said, it's better to seize the tripod than to waste time here. You must keep enough energy and spirit, so that you can brand your own mark on the tripod and wake up the sleeping one. Senior, I'm sorry, I can't listen to you this time. I must defeat him. Long Chen shook his head and said, the words of the strong man of the dragon clan stimulated the dragon dust. He stepped on the void and killed the dragon Aotion again. At that moment, the eyes of the dragon dust became sharp like a knife in a moment, and the war spirit was completely ignited. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3849, Boom, Boom. Long Chen's 2 fists smashed the heaven and earth, with a tremendous momentum. One fist after another, he smashed at Long Outyin. Long Outyin sneers and waves to resist. Although he is forced by the dragon dust and constantly shakes and flies, people are like sandbags. He is beaten back and forth, but he is not hurt. What's going on? Xia Chen and others are stunned. Does Long Outyin have the body of immortality? If it was someone else, he would have been beaten by the dragon dust, but Long Outyin was hit hard by the dragon dust continuously, but he was still okay. For a time, everyone was shocked. You are a stubborn kind. He uses your colorful blood. Even if you lose, you will lose to yourself. Do you want to fight against yourself? The strong man of the dragon clan, seeing that the attack was invalid, was still frantically attacking. He could not help but get angry. Master, you don't understand. Since I was born, I have had a lot of bad luck. I have gone through many ups and downs and fought countless battles. Although my experience is not enough for you, I can see my own way and know what I have to face. I know that my strongest place is not my talent, not my wisdom, nor the number of treasures around me, nor how many noble people to help me. The reason why I can go from nothing to today depends on the spirit of not accepting defeat. I can't lose to others, I can't lose to myself. I have to be absolutely sharp. Over the years, no matter what kind of danger I encounter, I will not hesitate and despair. It is this self-confidence that has enabled me to survive countless bloody battles. Therefore, no matter what kind of opponents I encounter, as long as they are in the same rank, I am invincible. This is my road, my way, and no one can block my way forward, even myself. Long Chen waved his fists, fighting fiercely and responding at the same time. Hearing this, the strong man of the Dragon Clan was silent. After a long time, he said slowly, "What you said is reasonable. Well, since you are so confident, it's up to you." Dragon Dust and Long Ao fought fiercely, or Dragon Dust Storm hit Long Outyen, but Long Outyen was not injured. This strange picture shocked everyone. Even Yin Changxing, Jiuyou Luosha, Corpse Tsai, Ji Wuming and other strong men with countless combat experience cannot see the clue. Long Outyen is too evil. Long Chen, even if I let you give full play, how long can you persist? When your breath drops, what else do you take to fight me? Haha, angry? Not willing? That's right. I want you to experience the feeling of being fooled by fate and helpless. Ha ha ha. Long Outyen laughs and his expression is extremely arrogant. When Long Outyen laughed, he was distracted and was slapped in the face, and a loud noise was taken away. The Dragon Dust did not chase out, but stood on the void and looked at the Dragon Outyen coldly. In addition to the power of the 5 elements, you also have the power of darkness and light. The power of darkness is the power of swallowing, and the power of light is the power of healing. Your dark power has devoured a part of my strength, and only 50% of the strength you bear. Even if it is 50% of the force, you will be injured, but the injury is not so serious. In order to show your own strength and fight for injury, you should also pretend that you don't care, let me think you are invincible, and create the illusion that my attack is invalid to you. In fact, you secretly use the power of light to heal your wounds. In this world, there is no perfect technique, and there is no perfect skill. Long Outyen, you are still the original you, always playing with some things that are not on the table. Long Outyen was slapped in the face by Long Chen, and he was immediately murderous. He was not afraid of Long Chen's fists and kicks, but the slap in the face was a humiliating attack, which was intolerable. However, when the Dragon Dust said these words, the Dragon Aode slightly surprised, Dragon Dust actually saw through his tricks. The black and white in his vision, as Long Chen said, are the power of darkness and light, one for swallowing and the other for healing. However, the colorful supreme blood of Dragon Outyen has not been fully awakened, and the power of darkness and light cannot be summoned from the vision like the power of 5 elements. But even so, it also has endless power. Ordinary people attack the Dragon Outyen, and the power of darkness can swallow up all the power of human beings in the future. Long Chen's power is too concentrated and too condensed. His invincible dark power can only absorb about half of its strength, and the remaining half can only be blocked by his 5 elements and body. The force of the 5 elements can release part of the power of Dragon Dust again. Only about 40% of the strength of the Fist of Dragon Dust is blocked by the Dragon Aotion. Even if it is 40% of the strength, it is enough to blow up a group of supreme-level strong men. On the surface, Long Outyen is still, but actually his body has begun to hurt. However, his power of light, with a strong power to heal, the wounds, were quietly cured, so the attack of Dragon Dust, cannot give him real damage. So what? In addition to the power of 5 elements, I also have the power of swallowing and healing. Your attack will be weakened. You can't hurt me. Even if you hurt me, my healing power will make my wound heal instantly. And you? When your breath begins to drop, your defeat is settled. Long Outyin sneers. After hearing the conversation, Yin Changsheng and others understood the mystery. However, they were still shocked by Long Aotian's colorful blood. Yin Changsheng and other people are the supreme class strong. Their supreme blood also has the powerful attribute. This powerful ability makes them extremely proud. But compared with Dragon Aotian's colorful supreme blood, their supreme blood is so mediocre. At the same time, they have the supreme blood of gold, wood, water, fire, earth, darkness, and light, which they have never even heard of. Obviously, Long Outyin doesn't come up with a unique trick. He just wants to use such scoundrels' moves to kill the dragon dust, so that the dragon dust can't be used effectively. It's a pity that your dark power and light power are not strong enough to summon you out of the body. Therefore, you need to rely on visions for blessing. Otherwise, it's really hard to break your rogue moves. Dragon Dust Light Tunnel. My colorful supreme blood is not complete yet. I can only summon the power of the 5 elements out of the body, but even so, it is enough to deal with you. Long Outyin is still full of confidence. Yes? Then try my trick again. All of a sudden, Long Chen's hands were imprinted, and the space trembled. The sky was dark. Above people's heads, a starry sky enveloped the world. Lead the stars into the body. When Long Chen broke off drinking, he suddenly punched out. On the fist of Long Chen, 999 stars appeared in the ring of 7 stars. When the dragon dust came out of his fist, there were 999 stars shining in the sky. Boom! With one punch, Long Outyin raises his fist to block, and with a click, his arms are broken, and Long Chen hits his chest with a fist pattern. Poof! The blood of the dragon Outyin spurts, and the human is like a shrimp and flies backward with its body bent. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3850. This fist shocked everyone. No matter how hard Long Chen tried before, he couldn't do any substantial damage to Long Outyin. But now, a fist will be Long Outyin hit mouth spray blood. They cannot see the change in the breath of dragon dust. They can only see that 999 stars appear on the fist of Long Chen. Even when the 999 stars appear, the breath of Long Chen seems to be weaker. In fact, the dragon dust moves the star into the body and triggers the power of the stars above the 9 days. This power is not the power of dragon dust. It can only be controlled but cannot be absolutely controlled. And this power, condensed to the extreme, even dragon dust itself cannot control. Dragon Aotian's dark power also can't absorb. So Long Chen's fist actually hit Long Outyin. His arms were broken and his blood gushed wildly. Even the space behind him was covered with spider web-like cracks, which went straight into the sky. The fist of Long Chen almost broke the heaven and earth. Long Chen's fist made the stone shake the sky, and the situation reversed in an instant. However, when Long Chen saw Long Outyin vomiting blood, his heart suddenly jumped. Purple blood. Because the blood vomited by the dragon Outyin is actually purple blood. The blood purple is unreal, containing endless essence, and even invisible runes are flowing. The purple blood was vomited out by the dragon Aotian and turned into a dreamlike purple gas, which enveloped the dragon Outyin and slowly integrated into his body. Purple blood? How is that possible? In addition to the colorful supreme blood, he also has the supreme blood of purple blood? Yin Changsheng exclaimed. When seeing the purple blood flying out, the supreme qi sweeps across the sky, and the breath is not even weaker than the breath of his colorful supreme blood. How can one have 2 kinds of supreme blood? Not only Yin Changsheng and others were shocked, but even Yu Shaoqian and others couldn't believe their eyes. What kind of adverse chance did the dragon Aotian encounter in the fairyland? He even had the power of purple blood. You know, in this world, the only people who can have purple blood essence are the purple blood race. There are no other races and no living creatures. Purple blood is one of the strongest races in the most glorious era of the human race. It is as famous as Zhou, Tiantong, and other ethnic groups. It controls 9 days and 10 places and suppresses 10,000 ethnic groups. Purple blood is one of the oldest and most powerful human blood veins. Its fame is incomparable. Long Chen also stares at purple blood, with endless anger in his eyes. He knows that the purple blood also comes from him, specifically from her mother. If the supreme blood is from his father, then the purple blood is from his mother. Unexpectedly, purple blood is also awakened in the body of Dragon Pride. All of these originally belonged to him, and they were the most precious gift left to him by his parents. However, this precious gift caused the three of them to separate their wives and children. Now when they see purple blood, they suddenly think of their mother. How can Long Chen not be angry? Ah! The dragon dust roared up to the sky and roared like a wounded beast in the sky. The roar broke thousands of roads, and the runes of the road collapsed one after another, turning into light rain all over the sky. Long Chen was angry. He thought of his father, his mother, and his lonely life. His endless killing intention changed the law of heaven. At this moment, he was like a god of killing and came out of purgatory. Angry? Ha ha ha. Looking at the black lines in his eyes, Long Outyin laughs. The more angry he is, the more happy he is. I'm very satisfied with your expression now. You're not wrong. The purple blood also comes from your supreme blood. You are the most rare twin blood, the ancestor of the dragon family said. The purple blood essence in my body is extremely pure. Therefore, the blood of the supreme color is so powerful that it cannot be assimilated. The two complement each other, achieve each other, and have the power beyond imagination. It is also because of this that it is 1,000 times more difficult for my two kinds of supreme blood to awaken than others. Even if the dragon family has consumed endless resources for me, it can still only reach this level. To fully awaken, I need a huge amount of chaotic gas, so I came here. I am really glad that I followed the arrangement of my ancestors. You know what? With the opening of the 3,000 worlds, the Tianyuan world has also opened up. It is also a wild world with chaotic atmosphere. More importantly, there are Archean relics of the dragon family and the inheritance of the dragon family. However, the ancestor was worried that the chaotic atmosphere there was not enough to activate my spirit blood, spirit root, and spirit bone, so he had to force me to come here. Now think about it. It's a destiny. God wants me to kill you to avenge my father and mother. Long Aoshan's face showed a ferocious smile, cold voice, also with endless killing intention. No, you're wrong. God, let me take back what belongs to me. Dragon dust gnashing teeth, no longer nonsense, again rushed to the dragon Outyin. There is no skill, no fancy action, simple and direct, a blow down, a simple blow, the fight is the real strength. Purple blood dyes sky, magic power is boundless. The dragon Aotion looks up to the sky and roars. Suddenly, a pair of purple wings are born behind. The purple wings are all dyed by blood essence. When the wings shine, the endless purple blood blooms and infects the whole world. In the boundless purple atmosphere, there is a black and white world. In front of the black and white world, there is a dragon Outyin with 5 colors and gods. The 3 forces are superimposed, and the gorgeous divine light is flying. The dragon Outyin is like a divine bird, crossing the void and rushing to the dragon dust. Now is my strongest form and I will let you know what the real power is. Long Outyin laughs like thunder. Boom! The divine light was flying, the sky and the earth were cracked, and the stars were swaying, and the dragon dust and the dragon Outyin flew out at the same time. My God, the skyline! Some people exclaimed that the two hit each other, and the divine power moved the heaven and earth. The skyline beside them even had a spider web-like crack. 2 people hit, fight a tie. Actually no one can suppress who, 2 people just retrogression, immediately like lightning general again to each other. Death, 2 people drink at the same time, and the void under their feet explodes like comets collide. Boom boom. At this time, they both killed their eyes and fought wildly. The vigorous wind kept rising and violently blowing the sky. The void was compressed into a chaotic field. The space around them, the light of stars trembled, and the blood gushed. Millions of miles of space became a field of death. What a power it is! The powerful men of the Holy Dan Hall and the Demon Clan all looked frightened. They all opened their defenses and summoned visions to resist the vigorous wind. They still felt the pressure as if they would be crushed to death at any time. They are all supreme talents, but here, they seem to be like ants. The blow to them is too big. The gap is just like a gap. No, Long Chen is angry. The fire is full open. I'm afraid we will soon be able to win or lose. We don't have much time. We need to speed up. Mo Nian looked at the skyline roaring, cracks constantly appear, feeling bad, with 1,000 magic coffin, quietly ran to the next coffin. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.